have been for an hour.
Are you allowed to Zen, Logan?
No, sir. I don't Zen.
I didn't think you did.
Zen is not a sin.
I don't. Oh, they say nicotine's really good for you.
It is.
Cognitive function.
Turns out it's been good the whole time.
The people that sell it damn sure think that.
It's a neuroprotectant. Reverses Alzheimer's and dementia and all sorts of good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need all the help I can get.
Goodbye dementia.
Parkinson's.
Marked safe from that.
Yeah, all them old people with dementia and shit, they never fucking done Zens or anything when they were growing up, huh?
You got to throw that nicotine
Exactly.
in. Yeah. You got to throw that nicotine in. What are y'all drinking today?
We are having some wild turkey rare breed.
Okay.
Why is that?
That's a good
Why is
one.
that fuzzy right there?
Because you're blurring out your background, all the naked pictures.
Oh, that's sad.
There's a topless picture of my dad.
Black squirrel.
Okay, so how do we go about this? We just jumping right into it, or you need to do an intro for yours?
It doesn't matter. We can just jump right in. I don't think we
3, 2, 1, boom. Welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by the Looking Glass Club Podcast. This is Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver, joined with us today by Rebel and Logan from the Looking Glass Podcast. There we go. We're ready to go now.
We're rolling.
Also brought to you by Fertilizer Service Company out of Fairfax, Missouri. There you go.
Yeah, make sure all the people in Texas call me so I can come down there.
Yep.
He probably would, too. We can't keep him in our area, that's for sure.
Buck's a buck.
A buck's a buck.
That's how it all started. So let's jump right in here and let's talk about what's going on in the world today. First thing,
tell you what's going on over here. This is gay.
We look like homosexuals.
Suck.
Just so people know, we don't always sit this close.
I think y'all do. I think that's the secret.
Two guys, one mic for sure.
That's the secret to the Looking Glass podcast success is the closeness of you guys.
What's that doing? My phone rings.
Nothing.
What's that doing?
Nothing.
Your finger in your phone is all that we see.
That's all we see.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay.
What do y'all think about the big controversy down here right now is with the border starting to ship everybody back? I personally think it's the best thing happened to our country in a long time. What
you think? What? Sorry, Logan was talking over you. This is first time on a podcast.
I think it's a good thing. I think we've got to clean up our country and we got to get rid of some stuff. And the bad thing is there are going to be a lot of good people that are going to lose some family members that really haven't done a lot, but they've been here for a long time. They should have gotten legal.
Well, I think the 1,100 people that Homan shipped out so far, weren't they all convicted of a crime? My God.
I think so, but you see people saying, "Oh, they're going to Home Depot rounding people up." I don't think they are. I think they're rounding up the bad elements that are there. So I don't know.
That's what I thought.
I don't know why anybody would be against having people who've been arrested for violent crimes being shipped back to where they're from.
Well, I don't know that anybody's against that. Surely, like you said, I do wish there was a better way instead of just mass deportations of everyone. If there was a better way to, cull them out a bit, get the naughties out of here, and the ones that are established and being productive, maybe give them a little longer grace period for a path to citizenship. Yeah,
yeah, I agree.
Well, get the naughties out. Get the naughties out.
How long of some of these people have been over here 20 years? How long of a path are you going to give them? Like, you should have handled your shit when Obama was in office. You should have handled it when Biden was in office. I mean, I don't feel as sorry for these people.
Well, 20 years might be a bit extreme, though, right? I thought he was just going after the ones who just came over in the last 4.
I think that anybody that is over here illegally is afraid that their number is going to get called.
Holloman said that. He said right now, he goes, we're after was it Homan or Holloman? Homan, Tom Homan. He said, we are after the violent people that are here.
Is there an M in, is there an N in that?
I'm all for that.
Tom Homan.
You got to think of it this way, Andy. So say you're an illegal immigrant, right?
Yes.
You've been here for 20 years.
Yes, muchacho.
More than likely, you're not telling everybody. You're keeping your head down. You're not creating any waves. So you probably haven't been looking for that path to citizenship because things have just been going fine. It's like me rolling on bad tags, Until I get pulled over, I'm probably going to continue on bad tags because piss on the government, that's why.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So
now that they know the numbers up, now we give them a chance. We can't count the last 20 years because they were getting by with it. So a lot of people, if you're getting by with something, you're not going to, change, right? I wouldn't.
He said,
bad tags.
He said, if you are here illegal, you're illegal. Not saying you're somebody that we're going to go after and target, but you are here illegal, and and that's against the law. We're trying to clean up.
I agree with that. I
try to clean up our country. One of the complaints I watched liberal news last night, and they were saying, well, it's just so much expensive to send them people back. One-time cost of $10,000. How much do you think we're going to pay for them over the next 20 years in free shit?
Good. A lot.
Logan, I need an exact number.
Shit, I couldn't even get close. It's hard to say, but I imagine it's probably a.
It's in the billions and
how
billions.
How many hundreds of millions of dollars do you think the U.S. government spends on them?
A bunch. I mean, I don't know how much, but I'm just saying
per hour.
One $10,000 charge is a whole lot cheaper 3 years down the road than it's going to be. It's going to be cheaper right now to spend $10,000 on them than to raise them for a lifetime.
Let's see how biased ChatGPT is. How much does each illegal immigrant cost the United States? The U.S. per year. Survey says, it's
if you're figuring all social programs too, it's going to be over $10,000.
It's a complex, politically sensitive topic that I don't think that we're going to get an answer.
Got the ban hammer. Can't talk about it.
Some studies suggest that net cost per undocumented immigrant to taxpayers can range from a few $1,000s to higher figures annually. Thank you, ChatGPT.
Okay. Well, at a few $1,000s in 5 years, you're at your $10,000. And I don't know what kind of fucking airline they're riding on. It's costing $10,000 for a one-way fucking ticket to Guatemala.
I can't let these boys drink alone. I'll be right back.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to go get yourself a drink.
Get yourself a little nip. It's morning time.
Well, Jeff, do you like the way that the U.S. government's going about it, though? Because, I mean, it was kind of like didn't they all basically strike at once? Or they got a lot of ICE agents mobilized? Because I know they hit several cities in Missouri all at once.
They shipped out yesterday 1,000 people. And so I hope today they ship out 2,000.
Just double it every day.
Have they mentioned what their goals are? You mentioned 1,000 yesterday. Have they grafted in a way?
I thought I saw a figure that said 1.4 million at least are violent criminals that are here. What happened was
I mean as far as shipping out.
No, I don't know.
Deportations.
Well, I'm saying it's 1,000 a day. They got a long way to go. If they're going to do 1.4 million, it's going to take 5 years at that pace.
Yeah, it'll take a while.
But they're going to ramp up more and more of them. But the media is making it sound like they're just going into fucking rallying and rounding up people everywhere like they did back in the day when they ship you deal. They used to ship people out of here picking watermelons, and they would go to Mexico, and 2 days later they'd be back. I mean, hell, there was nothing on them. Now, if you get caught coming back here, it's a major, major fine.
What do they do to them?
They just ship them back. Now,
if you get caught coming back again.
If you get caught coming back, I think your mandatory prison sentence, they're going to really make it tough if you come back here. You're not going to just be catch and release.
And where are we going to house all them in an already overcrowded prison system?
Well, I saw yesterday where Trump come out and said he's going to talk to some third world countries that need some money about emptying out our fucking prisons and sending all of our violent people that are in it for the rest of their life, just pay them to go be in a Guatemalan prison or somewhere.
Is that why we want Greenland so bad? We're just going to send them over there?
I don't think he wants to fuck up Greenland. He likes it better. I think he's thinking like a sub-Saharan African country or some shit, or South America. He don't want to. I don't
know if you can just ship American citizens to other countries.
Well, you tell them that because if you're locked
maybe
up,
you can.
You're locked up in prison.
The Army does it all the time.
Yeah, no shit. So
you signed up for it.
Yeah. Well, you murdered an old lady. I think what he's wanting to do is clear out the federal prisons of these people that are just bad seeds and send them somewhere else.
Like weed dealers.
It is pretty wild that everything he got done in a week and corrected so much shit in 6 or 7 days of what, the prior administration had fucked up. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. If you looked at it from a cost analysis, if you've got a guy on death row in the United States, I bet you're spending $100,000 a year to keep him behind bars. I say just take a 37-cent cheap bullet and shoot him in the head if he's in there for life sentence. That's my. I
agree with that. We've talked about that. As long as the appeals process is played out, which I think you could expedite it. You got to give a little time for some new DNA evidence type of deal because you see those getting overturned. But once you know, or if they've admitted to it, or they're guilty without a shadow of a doubt, it should end that day.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
But if it's costing us $100,000 a prisoner on death row to save them, we can send them over to a foreign country in one of them, let's say Panama, and they build a prison.
Why not
there.
Australia? That's what everyone used to do.
Well, it's too nice now.
But
is it?
Yeah,
I think so.
7 most dangerous states in the world are in Australia. Fuck them. Send them there then. But Bill, you can go to a prison.
That's where everyone used to do. It was a penal colony.
Right. But
penis colony.
Penis colony.
There's a lot of third world countries that would love to have 10,000 American prisoners to take care of every day, and it would save us a shitload of money over here.
What are we talking about?
How much money are we going to have to grease them up with?
Right.
Shit, just build it. They want money. Trump's come out now and said he wants to send all the prisoners or violent criminals. He said send them to third world country. He's working on. He's talking to some world. He's going to do it too.
Well, who in their right mind would fucking agree to that?
A country that's going to get paid that needs money?
What a good...
we'll take them. Those good-looking fellas there.
We're going to send you our most violent people.
They're going to put them in prison and get
Congratulations.
paid $40,000.
This guy only shanked somebody 5 times last year.
Well,
we want him. It's a draft.
Hold on. They're not getting them to go part of society. They're going to put them in a prison there, but he's going to pay another country to house and take care of our prisoners.
What a dumb idea.
I asked how much do you think that would cost?
If it costs $40,000, if it costs $40,000 a year, it costs look up on there what it costs to put somebody on death row in America. It's about $100,000 a year to keep a guy behind bars. So
you're saying give them $40 a year if they'll take our violent criminals.
Yeah.
But that's just their cost of maintenance. They're going to want a little gravy on top of that, Jeff.
No, why exactly is that $100,000 per person just to keep them alive on death row?
We're fixing to pull it up.
Lights, shitty food. Well, you also have to pay a whole staff pretty good wages to take care of them.
How many
$100,000? People are in, you ever heard of overhead?
How many people are in Leavenworth? A couple thousand?
I'm not going to explain business to you right now.
Go ahead.
Okay,
what is it?
$100,000 per inmate.
$100,000 per inmate. You go to
annually.
You go to Mexico and they build this supermax prison. They couldn't keep El Chapo in, but you do 100, and you pay them $40,000. You're saving $60,000 per inmate per year. They can feed them down there because their cost is much, and they don't really have the OSHA standards that our prisons have to go by. It's the actual prison.
I'm not sure OSHA gets in the prison system.
I think that number, I think they're purposely inflating it to get more grant money from the government. There's no way it should cost $100,000 to keep somebody alive in prison.
I agree with you, but that's what our government is paying. Whether someone's making a big profit on it or not, I'm sure somebody is. But if we
of course they are.
But if we can cut it in half, that's saving a lot of money.
There are
it's one of those deals that does sound good in theory, but knowing America, we send them over there agreeing to $40,000 a year, and within 5 years, we're going to find out we're paying $150,000 a prisoner because the country's milk more money out of us.
Well,
or they threaten to ship them back.
Well, they do that shit. We cut off all their aid. We can be the bully here. That's what we did with Colombia. Colombia got smart, and that president. We don't want our countrymen brought back in shackles. We want them to fly back in a commercial airline. They fucking walked over here. They didn't like they landed on fucking American Airlines first class. They walked over here. We shipped them back, and we said, that's fine. We'll put a 25% tariff on you. 10 days later, it'll be 50%. All of a sudden,
I did see that.
The president of Colombia is like, whoa, hold on. Not only will we accept those people, but we will take the personal Colombian government airplane, pick them up, and bring them back. Yeah, we'll bring them back.
Studies often find that the total cost of a death penalty case, including trials, appeals, housing, and execution, can exceed $1 million to $3 million per case, significantly higher than the cost of life imprisonment without parole.
Or a 37-cent bullet.
I do feel like you're onto something there. It would be a lot cheaper than trying to figure out the logistics of shipping them to another country, getting that all worked out, because you're going to have to pay them more than just the cost of living. They don't want all these violent criminals.
I said
they're not going to just do it for the cost of housing. You're going to, if we figure out a cheaper way to kill these people that are here that are guilty, save a lot of money.
What about wrongful convictions?
Cheaper and quicker way.
That happens all the time.
Jesus
Guys who
Christ.
spend 20 years on death row and then they end up getting out of prison because they found them innocent.
Well, I see who our liberal pundit is on this deal now.
That's a contingent.
Yep, fucking.
They have to admitted they're guilty, or there is no way it could be anyone. They got caught doing it.
So Geraldo,
those you could kill right away.
So Geraldo, you think we should just keep them around here because it might be a little more expensive and we're being a little mean to them?
I think you need to watch your fucking mouth and your tone, first of all. I was just asking a question. I didn't know how you go about that whole thing.
Well, turns out you are not the father.
These people have been convicted. Okay, do a DNA test and all that stuff, but still $40,000 a year
right now.
Those countries are.
Get a sample.
If we're paying them $40,000 a year, they're making $20,000 or $30,000. The cost for keeping a convict in a foreign place is not near as expensive. Their guards don't make no money. They're not overpriced. All the kind of shit that we do in our prisons. They're not giving them cable
I'm not
TV.
saying it's a terrible idea at all. I'm just saying it seems like a logistical nightmare, and I don't know what country's going to sign up to fill their prisons with our people.
They'll build some country down there will build a prison if they're guaranteed 1,000 or 3,000 inmates at $40,000 a year. It's money for them to be made. It's a good business for them.
And suddenly Conair became a documentary.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly. Yeah, you got a guy with all the rose tattoos going down to rape everybody.
We all know how well
I've seen 100 times.
Yeah, worked out great on that movie.
So
lost his arm.
Wonderful movie.
So let me ask, so are you guys good? I'm good with the deportation. Are you, Andy?
Yes.
What about you, Geraldo?
Is that me?
Yes, you're Geraldo.
You're the
yes.
I am
pro
now.
You're a liberal
deportation
pundit.
if they're here illegally and they are if they're criminals.
Unless they work for
If they're criminals,
for us.
What if they're just what if they're just here illegally and that's their only crime?
I think we should go after the criminals first. I don't think that
here.
I don't think that Consuela, who's lived down the block for 18 years, has watched your kids a few times, needs to fucking get sent back if she's, contributing to society. But the people that are raping and pillaging and killing people,
they go first.
Yeah, send them back first.
What if we get
That's the caveat I'm with.
What if we get all of the violent criminals rounded up and then all these ICE agents are bored? And now it's like, what the fuck do we do now? And then Consuela...
Fuck it, go after the other ones.
See, I think if you go for the violent ones first, like Logan said, and I think we're all in agreement with, and at that time you give the PSA, hey, it's going to take us a couple years, a year or two to round up all these violent criminals and get them out. This is your notice. You're on the clock for all you illegals that want to stay here, that are good people. Start your process now. If when we come to your door and you can show you're in the process to citizenship, you get a pass, and you do regular checkups until they're, you know what I mean?
I think Jeff's more in the camp of if they don't look like me, they shouldn't be here.
No, that's exactly right.
Does that skin look a little brown to you?
I'm actually with
put
Rebel.
Put a soccer ball in front of him. Let's see how good he actually is.
I'm 100.
Hey, Pele, come here, move this around a bit.
I'm 100% with Rebel on this. I believe that I want to see people that contribute to society, want to be part of this, that want to come here and be an American. I'm all for that. But when I see them dumbasses in Dallas, Texas with the Mexican flags bitching because you're deporting them, if you're so happy and proud of Mexico, go fucking back then. Instead of waving a flag with the Mexican flag, I want them to be American. I don't want them to come here and try to be not an American. If you want to live here, be an American. And I'm for anybody that's over here that hasn't been in trouble and works hard and stuff. We need those people. So by God, we ain't gonna get them lazy ass Americans to get off their ass and work.
I want to nail you down a little bit. I want to nail you down a little bit here. Are you saying any sort of arrest record, you get a one-way ticket back to your...
No, I think there's going to be some legitimate things. You get arrested.
I'm asking you.
Theft. If you've got
it's marijuana.
Theft.
No, if you
start with theft.
Let me finish then, Michelle.
I'm asking you. You're not giving me an answer.
I'm trying to, and you keep saying theft.
You too, kid.
I think that if you've got a felony conviction, you should get your ass shipped out of here. If you're a felon in our country and you're born here, you can't buy a hunting license and you can't shoot a gun in a lot of places. So if you're a felon and you're from illegal, send your ass out of here. If you don't have a felony, I don't have a problem with that. If you have a misdemeanor and something, if you've done something violent, you need to be gone out of here. So anything
Jeff's going to go around with one of those paint charts from Home Depot and hold it up to people's skin.
Color swatch.
Yeah.
So a felony.
Sorry, pal.
Yes.
What constitutes a felony?
Jumps out.
What constitutes a felony?
Yeah, I mean,
you get arrested as a felony. You can have a felony DWI if you've got kids in a car.
Okay.
If you've shot someone, if you've raped someone, if you strangled someone. I mean, it's not getting a felony is not hard to do.
I don't have one.
There you go.
I think it's pretty difficult.
Rebel, do you have one?
I have no felonies.
Okay. What about you, Geraldo?
Zero.
Even Geraldo doesn't have any.
So we're going to start with the felons.
Okay, yeah.
If you have a
from
felony,
the felony on and ship them out. Let other people work towards citizenship. I think
we can all agree on that.
But we've got to clean up our country. I mean, we got all these little people, like the Colombian guy coming over here. How many of those little kids from Colombia that come up, them little girls got raped and, some one of them probably got killed. I mean, there's all kinds of statistics you hear about that shit. So I'm all for that. I'll tell you what I also am for, and this is going to be, Geraldo's really going to be on my ass about this probably, but I think we've made...
You fucking call me that.
We've made the cartel.
Struck a nerve.
Oh, big time. He don't like that one. Now that I know you don't like to be called Geraldo, I'll only call you that other day.
Like, why'd you even say anything?
Yeah, no shit. If you take, we've made the cartels terrorist organizations. Are y'all for or against if we would drone strike them and blow up where they're making fentanyl?
If we have permission, you talking on their soil,
on
Mexican soil, or are you
soil.
talking American soil?
Well, American soil blow the shit out of them too, but that ain't going to happen. But Mexican soil.
If we have the permission of the government, then I am absolutely all for it.
What about you, Logan?
I agree, 100%.
If we do it without permission of the Mexican government, I think you're getting a little gray there.
That doesn't make us a whole lot better than them.
I don't know about that, but it obviously.
Well, wouldn't we kind of be the terrorists if we were just blowing up random fucking houses that probably has kids and
Pretty
shit?
sure that's how wars start.
Well, first of all, Mexico don't have the weapons to do that.
What a bully Jeff is. Oh, they can't fight back. Fucking bomb them.
No, I didn't say bomb them. I said kill up the places they're building.
Sound like Scotty.
The places that they are manufacturing fentanyl or cocaine and stuff. Yeah, I'd like to see them wiped out. I would. Yeah, you don't think the CIA on the ones that they're not getting paid on aren't doing the same damn thing?
What do you mean?
You don't think that they have? You don't think in Colombia and in Mexico that the CIA is facilitated to blow up and get rid of their competition guys?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you ever seen the movie Clear and Present Danger that Tom Clancy wrote about when they was in Colombia? No. And their fucking U.S. government is doing it, Noriega and all that. We've been involved. Our government's been blowing up shit for years in other countries without permission.
You talking about with Indiana Jones?
Him too, with the Rolling Rock. But our government has blown up shit in countries all around the world without permission all the time. I don't want to blow up.
Doesn't make it right. I'm just saying I'd rather have the permission of the Mexican government and then blow them up.
Yeah, and you can. Then that's going to be easy to get. All you got to do is say we're going to cut off all our Western Union MoneyGrams coming back to you. Oh, kill them motherfuckers. That's exactly what they'd say.
But were you a bully in high school, Jeff?
I should have been.
But is it our job to clean up somebody else's country?
No, not no more.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what you're wanting to do here.
No, I want to fucking shoot the places. They're terrorist organizations. Okay. One of the new things that we're fixing to start dealing with.
Sounds like a war on drugs to me.
Yeah, a big time war on drugs, but actually making it a war. Not this.
Yeah, okay, Ronald. Okay, this is your fucking plan.
A little different. Marijuana's not involved this time.
I guess that was Nancy's deal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Here's what you're going to hear in the next 6 months, and you're going to hear it first. I'm sure you probably know this since you read a lot of shit anyways, especially you, Logan. The Mexican drug cartel's next big plan now is to start kidnapping Americans in America and hold them hostage like they do in Mexico to start bringing in some of their money they're going to be losing off this shit. So when they start kidnapping kids on the streets, then are you going to be okay with us blowing their shit down?
I'm okay with blowing their shit up now. I don't know why the Mexican government wouldn't give us permission.
Okay. What about you, Logan?
They're too pussy to do it.
Well, the Mexican government, they've tried to go after the cartels. They just don't have the firepower. Right. So I would imagine they'd be okay with us doing it anyways.
They're all on the take.
That's
in
why.
The government over there.
I mean, we're talking about...
We're not, so
a lady ran for president down there. 57 people ran, and she's the only one that wasn't assassinated, and she won. You don't think the cartels let her live for a reason?
Exactly. They're all in someone's pocket down there.
Absolutely. Now, I don't think it's our duty to have to police the world, but when it's
Thank Ukraine.
When we're involved directly, like Mexico, where they're just a hop, skip, and a jump and bringing illegal drugs, and if they are kidnapping, women and children and everything, absolutely, Jeff, I think we should kill them all.
And that's what's coming.
We need to fix that border for sure.
Yes, and
without a doubt, we need to fix that border.
Yeah.
Where did you get this? That's what's coming next.
I've been reading a lot about it, and it's scary. I read some really scary shit about it. It's coming. That's their next big plan.
You've been on the dark web?
Do you know where we're going in a week?
I know. I've thought about that a lot.
Well, Jeff, it's not too late to pull the plug.
I say, aren't you guys going to Mexico?
Yeah, sounds
I
great.
thought I saw Jeff post something about can't wait to get to Mexico.
Oh, wow, that sounds great.
You tell your wife and your mom we're not going to Mexico because we might get kidnapped.
Hey, Logan, are you?
He's just going to wear a T-shirt with like a Mexican on it with like a crosshair on it. Just says you're next.
No, I'm going to tell everybody my name's
That's his vacation shirt.
I'm Gilfredo Hispanuolo. Stanfield is what I'm going to be down there. I'm one of them.
Logan, are you still going to Mazatlan?
I think that's the plan.
Ooh.
When are you going?
Just south of Sinaloa, end of February.
Have you seen all that shit recently?
I read the link that you sent me the other day, and I sent it to my wife, and she was like, "So are we still going?" I was like, "Probably." I don't fucking know.
One thing I know about women, if they have something in their minds that they want to do and is going to be fun, there's no way you're getting them out of it. It doesn't matter if you tell them there's a bomb on the property. It may go off when we're there. It may not. They're like, we should probably risk it. We really need to get away for a while. We need to have fun.
Didn't they just shut down Mazatlan to American tourists?
I thought a lot of the outfitters are like
pulling the plug,
shutting down.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
it was in that article.
They're just not telling nobody until you almost going to get there.
No shit. Well, talk to your boy Ramsey.
Yeah,
he's I'm going with.
It's really gotten bad down there. They say. I mean, like it's really bad. I don't know what's going to happen with this new rule because the drug business, the cost of cocaine has went up big time and is really going to.
How do you know that?
Yeah, how do you know that?
Well, it has to be when you shut off the supply.
You will do a little toot.
First eggs, now cocaine. What's next?
I will do a little toot.
I'm not freebasing cocaine, but I will do a little toot.
I will do a little toot.
Little Sally now. Don't give me on that tequila.
Okay, so this is from Kevin Shuby. I don't know who that is, but Patrick Pitt is the one that shared it. And it says, Mazatlan is probably my favorite place in the world. I have talked people into going to dispute the rumors. I have been there 5+ times over 10 years. A friend advised me he was going this year. Yeah, right. And had no warning of the current climate down there from his booking agent. I figured I needed to post something last trip. He brought his 12-year-old daughter on. Know what's going on and make your decision from there. So evidently, like somebody got a message. Mazatlan duck hunt canceled.
SOS.
There's a there's a cartel war going on down there. Chapo's son took the leader of the Mayos to the U.S. and turned him in. Word on the street, it'll be over by Christmas. So maybe it's over by now.
I'm on a duck hunt with Chapo's son.
Yeah.
Terrible boat driver.
5 to 8 deaths a day, 5 to 10 missing a day. Local government does nothing. So I don't know.
God, Logan, I hope you don't have to make a decision if it's your Hallie. We'll miss it.
Who are you going to bring back if they say you can only one you can go back to tell this story?
We're sure going to.
I'll send House back. I think I can make friends with him. I can talk to about anybody.
I'm going to tell you what I told Michelle one time when we went down there. I said, listen, if they take us, they're going to kill me. You're going to have a pretty rough sex life for the next week or so before they kill you. So. Good luck.
Probably all the racist rhetoric as they're approaching you, they're getting at, we'll just kill this one.
Hey,
quiet it down a bit.
Have y'all seen American Primeval on Netflix?
We talked about this last
night. Just finished it last night.
Don't tell me.
I have seen it. Yes.
Speaking of rough sex life,
don't say. I've only seen 2 episodes so far, but I'm gonna tell you right now. For those of you, I'm actually,
the Mormons. Am I right?
Those are some badasses. But I am absolutely shocked that in today's world, Trump had to be in president before they released this show, because it shows a rough life that it was. It's not politically correct.
Woof. I told my brother, because he's watching it also, I said, Jeff's got nostalgia for the old days. It would suck, absolutely suck, to live in any other time.
Yeah, the good old days are they don't
current
exist.
Times. Yeah. It would be awful.
No, my nostalgia is I love the 50s and 60s, and I love growing up in the 70s.
Love
and all
beating that
stuff.
woman for not having breakfast ready.
I never beat your mom ever over breakfast.
but they did back then.
But I would not want to go back to those days.
The 1800s?
Oh, fuck no. Or the 17s or the 16s or the 15s.
It would just be fucking awful.
You've said it before. The bet that John D. Rockefeller's life was not near as comfortable as our life is.
No.
And he was a billionaire back in the 1920s.
But
I was super surprised. I mean, the show is brutal and amazing, and one of the best series I've seen in a while for sure. But if I was a Mormon, which I'm not, I would be a little fucking pissed on the way this depicted the beginnings of my religion.
It had me pissed off at the Mormons by the end of it.
Well, they were a little bit nasty in that movie. That show.
That was a true deal. I looked it up. It's the Mountain Meadow Massacre.
If you will look up, there's another show that's like it. It's Hell or High Wheels. One of them deals with more. Is it the Mormons on Hell and High Wheels? What's the one with the train going? They're building the train tracks.
Hell on High Heels. That was a porn you watched. Real wild. Everyone finished.
Is it Hell on Wheels?
Hell on Wheels.
I think they did because one of the series shows the Mormons and how they were brutal.
Well, they just didn't want people coming into Utah.
Well, there's a good reason why. The way they treated you, I wouldn't want to go either.
Yeah, it looked like they had plans of just making Utah its own country that would be separate from the United States.
Doesn't Utah kind of fucking suck anyways? Why would anybody want to go live there?
I don't know why anyone would lay claim to Utah.
Salt Lake City is a beautiful area. The only time I've been in Utah was between Salt Lake City, and when you get out of Salt Lake City, going west, you might as well be fucking driving through an ashtray. It's terrible.
It's a desert, isn't it?
Ain't nothing to look at, nothing to shit on, nothing to piss on. It's terrible.
I think it's a combination of mountains, deserts, just everything that's inhospitable.
And a lot that Salt Lake area is just nasty ass salty.
West Texas.
No. Exactly.
Oh, hey, sorry.
And
Didn't see you guys there.
And you want to move to Plainview.
Thought that was East Texas. Is that West Texas?
No, that's West Texas.
It's a good
show. Is that the one that's just right by Lubbock?
Is it true that West Texas was the first ones to utilize the open hand correction of a woman? I had heard that somewhere.
I think it probably happened way back in the Northeast.
That was Missouri.
Yeah.
That was Missouri as they were headed
west. Maybe that's
west.
what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a correction.
Right when they were headed west.
It shows love.
Yeah, right. Jeff, you know what would happen if I tried to lay a hand on my wife. It would go so bad for me.
She'd bob at your ass.
I'd have sunglasses on right now for sure.
And a diaper.
You say a diaper?
And a diaper.
You just raised better than that.
Where are you guys at on this? I wanted to get your guys' opinion when Trump got inaugurated and then they went to the church. I'm sure you guys have already covered it, but we haven't yet. And then they had the bishop there using that pulpit, the religious pulpit.
You don't know if she was a her.
Fair point. Looked like a female to me.
Sort of.
Looked like a dyke.
Where you guys at on
looks like a dyke
on
with
the
no
inauguration, I guess, worship, the traditional worship. What's your guys' opinion on how that went?
I think that was her time to shine, and that was her time to get her agenda across, and she took it. She saw her shot, and she shot it.
She's the new face of the Democratic Party. She wants to be the new face of the Democratic Party, and then the mayor of Chicago is going to fight and get arrested to try to fight for the legal aliens because he wants to be the next Democratic president. So.
You know, somebody on Trump's team probably lost their job.
For not vetting her?
How the fuck does
At least one.
How does this lady sneak through and give this fucking sermon? Right?
You can tell by the haircut, right, guys? This ain't gonna go well.
That's a little sexist. I don't know. I
don't. The Subaru in the parking lot, huh?
you know, whenever she walked up to the altar, Trump probably goes, "Oh fuck, here we go."
Oh God, who vetted this lady?
She had everything on but the pink pussy hat.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm all for everybody in all walks of life, but it rubbed me the wrong way that a person there that was supposed to be spreading a religious message. And preachers preach, that's what they do. And sometimes it seems like they can be condescending. But she used that as pure political speech, and I just felt that was not okay for the moment.
But
you're right. She had the pulpit, she had the cameras, and she used it, shot her shot.
Yep.
But it rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh, yeah,
when she talked about trans and legal aliens, and oh my God, her fucking agenda, I mean, is
I'm muted.
Out there.
It looked like about everything but everything but the Bible.
I'm muted.
She just used it as a
Trump probably was like, this bitch is talking to me.
How? But
I think even he figured it out.
I feel singled out.
Remember, someone's trying to sabotage him. Do you remember during the Republican convention they had the guy that had told the jokes or something, some comedian?
Tony Hinchcliff.
Yeah, whoever it was. And I'm like,
Billy Ray Cyrus.
He would have been better.
Fuck that poor guy.
But how do you get to that path that someone down there said, whoa, hold on. Do you really want this person speaking here?
I think Joe Rogan's talked about this a little bit, like Tony Hinchcliff. That's kind of his shtick.
Oh, it was Kill Tony, wasn't it? That guy?
Yep, Tony Hinchcliff.
Made a bunch. It was in New York, and I think he made a bunch of racist jokes I think, but that's like his
Or that young one that's real hot, that's real popular right now.
It's Tony Hinchcliffe still.
It was Hinchcliffe.
No, not Kill Tony. The other real young one that all the girls oogle over.
Matt Rife.
That one.
Yeah,
Yes.
he got
It was one of those
canceled
two, I
already
think.
for
It
something.
was still Tony fucking Hinchcliffe.
All right, yeah, Kill Tony. That's what I said the first time.
What-
Jesus.
Didn't the Matt Rife guy?
Good old Jeff.
I don't see him no more. He got canceled.
Yeah, he got canceled. I don't know what he did, but he got canceled.
Yeah.
He was one of the.
Did he really? I hadn't seen that.
Well, I think they tried to peg some sexual assaults on him too. Whether he did it or not, I don't know. But I do remember hearing some stuff about that right before I stopped seeing him on my feed all the time.
They
Well,
canceled
Tony
him, but not
Hinchcliffe's deal, where
JV.
he got in hot water because he said Puerto Rico was a floating pile of trash.
That was the one. Yeah, that's Kill Tony.
I've been to Puerto
Thank
Rico.
you.
It's very beautiful.
Tell you.
I didn't think it was a pile of trash.
No, I thought it was pretty.
I mean, I don't want to make a mistake. Keep them a territory. It's not that great,
it's
but
a lot cleaner in Mexico.
it's a lot cleaner than New Mexico
There
and
you
Utah. But somehow the Mormons got annexed in.
And shitty sides of Los
Mormons,
Angeles.
am I right?
Mormons, man. Am I right? Yeah.
I didn't realize they had such violent roots. I hadn't really looked into it before I saw the show.
Well, I didn't either. I didn't
That's
realize they
amazing.
were.
I just thought they were people that really like to fuck, so they got lots of women.
Yeah, and just couldn't pick one wife, you know?
That tells you how smart
They
they
were all
are.
too pretty.
You imagine fucking Valentine's Day with 7 wives? Somebody's pissed off.
I had to
I
dive
couldn't
into.
imagine having two.
I had to dive into no shit. I had to dive into Brigham Young a little bit. He died. He was 76 years old from a ruptured appendix, and he had 57 children and 56 wives whenever he died.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jesus.
That's a pile.
he's a coxman.
He is.
He touched a lot of middles.
Have you watched?
And he wrote everything when he was like 13.
Have you seen?
The Awakening.
Frontal cortex. What even?
I thought that was
developed yet.
Joseph Smith.
Who? Joseph Smith started the Mormons.
You fucking this up, Andy?
I think I'm.
Did you
I
poop your
might
pants?
be.
Who? What did you?
Yeah,
see?
Joseph Smith wrote everything when he was like 13 or 14.
did you see
Brigham Young was
Just
his
adopted
predecessor.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
You're
was,
right.
He was the Jesse Jackson to the Martin Luther King. Who is? Did you watch that show Rest Easy, or that was on Netflix? It was about the Mormon Church and the I think there was Mormons, and the guy had all the wives, the old man, and he had like 60 wives, and the oldest one was like 62, and the youngest one was like 14 or 15. It was called Rest Easy,
so gross.
or it was on
So
Netflix.
fucking
It was a
gross.
series, a documentary on Netflix the other day, a couple years ago, and the guy was actually out in West Texas. So go ahead and make a comment about West Texas. But anyways, he was went from Utah to somewhere in West Texas, and I can't remember the name of it, but be kind and gentle, or be sweet and
Oh yeah.
do you remember that?
Eat Sweet Pray or something like that?
That might have been it, but it was a very
Eat,
interesting.
pray, love.
Anyways, it was an interesting
Live, laugh,
documentary.
love.
Bless this mess.
And how the hell people can't get out of that lifestyle, them poor girls. Mm-hmm. It's a horrible deal. Since we got onto the Mormons and I brung up the MLK, so what y'all's take now? Logan, you say that you have read the MLK files already, some of them, right?
Read them all.
Apparently, he hacked the government because no one else has seen the MLK files. Because I do after this want to pick your brain or see what you think on the JFK files being released. But
So-
Logan said, yeah, he's got them.
That's
read
what he
them all.
told me. So you
They're in
said,
his possession.
You said MLK was nothing more than was he a CIA or an FBI?
It says, so I didn't read the
It's
goddamn files, but
complicated, Jeff.
this lady I follow on TikTok.
Oh, never
Gosh
mind.
darn it. This lady I follow on TikTok, she had the files and she was highlighting shit on there. And there we go. Now we're back. It said in the files, the FBI used him. They hired him basically to become an actor, and he had a certain agenda on what he was supposed to do to get the civil rights movement going.
Well, wasn't he?
I don't buy into that.
Wasn't he just a preacher
Not
from
one
Atlanta
bit.
at the First Baptist Church?
If he was an actor, he was the best actor of all time because that guy spoke with passion.
I agree.
He believed in what he was fighting for.
I
At
agree.
least that's what I think.
Yeah, but
I'm just telling you what another lady read.
in the files though.
I'm going to tell you what I heard from a lady that heard something that someone read.
In the files, though, he's not a very good guy. Serial adulterer.
I say he's passionate. Passionate.
Gay orgies, big alcoholic.
Saw that.
Should be a rapper.
I mean, let me see. I'm gonna try to find it, and it would actually be pretty funny if Rebel read this.
About the gay orgies?
Yeah, well, and some of the
I've actually already seen a picture of a gay orgy just today. Logan's already shown me one.
Yep. It's pretty good, too.
During our show.
With the funds that he received from the Ford Foundation, King held the first of 2 workshops in Miami, Florida in February 1968 to train, their words, not mine. I'm gonna put quotations around this.
Don't say the N-word.
To train Negro ministers in urban leadership. One Negro minister in attendance later expressed his disgust with the behind-the-scenes drinking, fornication, and homosexuality that went on at the conference. Several Negro and white prostitutes were brought in from the Miami area. An all-nighter sex orgy was held with these prostitutes and some of the delegates in attendance. One room had a large table in which it was filled with whiskey. 2 Negro prostitutes were paid $50 to put on a sex show for the entertainment of the guest. A variety of sex acts deviating from normal and unnormal.
Check a lot of boxes here, Andy.
Were observed. The activity is not new to King and his associates. As early as January 1964, King engaged in a 2-day drunken sex orgy in Washington, D.C., and he basically had a lot of people have sex in front of all of his people. So that
if you want my take on that, it doesn't change my opinion that he was passionate about civil rights. I mean, sure, it sounded like he liked to party. He'd do a little toot. But I'm not going to say he wasn't passionate about civil rights just because he liked to love everybody and get drunk.
Yeah, I don't.
Actually sounds pretty cool.
I still think that the FBI, I think he was working for the FBI. And not to mention...
what do you think they thought of his gay orgies?
Well, I mean, probably like whatever, but just remember, you have to be at work in the morning.
You got to have a speech at 3 hours.
We're supposed to be at Birmingham tomorrow, so let's get up there. But and then James Earl Ray, he got released from a Missouri State Penitentiary. It's no longer there. But the FBI let him out early and never really explained why. And then he ends up shooting MLK, didn't kill him. MLK actually got suffocated to death in the hospital. He didn't die in Memphis that day.
So do you think...
Didn't he get shot with a high-powered rifle?
Do you think that...
yeah, plenty of people do. I've wounded a lot of deer.
Do you
and how many of them survived?
Most of them.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Do you think James Earl Ray then was like an MK Ultra type situation?
I think it's very possible. I don't know what MK Ultra was. Well, MK Ultra was probably going on back then.
Yeah,
didn't that start in the 60s or 70s?
Yeah, no, the 60s.
So was the conservative FBI trying to stop the civil rights movement, or were they trying to stop gay orgies and partying?
I don't think they cared about gay orgies and partying because J. Edgar Hoover was into all that. I think they were trying to They were trying to separate the blacks and whites because they did the same thing with, that's what the whole thing set up with Charles Manson was. Charles Manson was supposed to pin those murders on the Black Panthers. And the FBI and the CIA were working together to try to keep racial division going. And they did not want the Black Panthers getting any foothold, so they were going to try to put it on them that they assassinated all these white people. And that's...
Can you imagine going through the interview process for the guy that's going to pin something on someone else and you settle on Charles Manson? I mean, that guy was out there.
Call the singer.
He's a Looney Tune.
He was a Looney Tune, but he could get people to do stuff, but it was that free LSD they were supplying him with. Anyways, back to James Earl Ray. So James Earl Ray was put... We can go back to this in a minute, but James Earl Ray was put there to kill MLK. So, also, Jesse Jackson worked for MLK and was an associate pastor, and he went over after he'd been shot, and he said that MLK whispered to him, "I want you to take over and run this group of people, whatever it is, and continue this." And they said Jesse Jackson got blood on his hands and wiped them all over his white shirt for the photography, so he could go back to Atlanta and say, Dr. King wants me to take over, and so boom, that's how we got Jesse Jackson. They should have shot Jesse and they could have kept Martin Luther. We'd be better off. But the CIA also...
I still think MLK was spreading a good message, even if he liked to party.
I do too. And they also killed Malcolm X.
They did. Yes, they did.
The CIA...
Who also did? The FBI?
Malcolm X had a little more violence behind his tone, didn't he, than maybe MLK? Yes. MLK seemed to be about peace and unity and everyone just kind of meshing together, a melting pot, if you will. And Malcolm X was, he seemed more like take what you want by any means necessary.
He hated white people.
I think that's what I was
and
getting
he
at.
hated Christians. But the black people liked him because he stood for a lot of the things that he thought the white people were holding him down. And I'm not taking up for him at all because he was a piece of shit, but they had him.
All right, guys. Marry, fuck, kill. MLK, Malcolm X, Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Jesus. I'm out on. I mean,
I'm just
answer the fucking question.
We have a show here too, guys.
There's just a lot of K's there.
I mean, whatever, you know.
KKK.
There's a cash reward at the end, sure.
KKK, I guess. I don't know.
You can't do the kill one. You can't say that you're going to kill one.
You can't kill 3 black people and expect to be fine. I mean, you just can't do that. You got to marry one of them, fuck one of them.
2 of them already been taken care of, I guess. Yeah, I don't.
Taken care of.
I don't know.
Well, this is getting a little racist.
I would say. KKK.
History's already taken care of that problem.
So let's go on to let's talk.
Well, but to answer your question, Jeff, I think that the FBI probably hired Malcolm X as well. Be like you said, keep racial division alive and well in the country.
Yeah, and that's what they wanted to do.
A prosperous, peaceful country isn't good for them.
Well, it seems like every cycle of presidents, it seems like racial division has always just been bad.
Well, we had to go through all the George Floyd stuff. And
hasn't it?
They prop up a guy.
Was it bad with Bush? Bush Jr.? I mean,
no, I don't. I don't remember.
The war on drugs was, to attack crack, and so I mean, even that created more racial divide. It just seems like every decade there hasn't been a time where racial divide has been that great. And I do all that to say, I think you're onto something. Maybe the government likes to keep it that way.
Oh, they do. In the media, that's what keeps it relevant. When I grew up,
the government media,
I grew up in the mid '80s. I don't remember a lot of racial divide. I really don't. And I'm sure there was some, but I don't remember it like I have in the last 10 years from the George Zimmerman deal, the George Floyd thing.
Obama kind of started this.
Oh, he stirred all that shit up. It started with the black professor at one of them colleges that was crawling in his window, and the campus cop wanted his ID, and it might have been a bad cop. I don't know, but it just from then on, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
I'm saying if a guy takes time to think back, I mean, the war on drugs was in the 80s, the start of it, and that was more inner city is where it started. But I mean, if you get the inner city, predominantly black people and white people to have a divide, and then you remember Rodney King, what was that, early 90s?
That was right after I got out of school.
That thing lasted forever as far as the divide it caused.
Well, O.J.
the riots
Simpson.
and
that was the whole reason O.J. got off.
Yep. OJ, I'm just saying there's always something spread out every few years, 5 years, 10 years, that just when you think the country's healing or moving in the right direction, it's like, no. And then boom, something happens. You're like, where in the fuck did this curveball come from?
Yeah.
There is someone pulling the strings. That's what I'm saying.
So it all started, the first time I remember any of this going on, and I knew it was before this, was the John F. Kennedy years. That's when the LBJ come in and had Kennedy killed, and then he started all the social programs to make himself relevant. Now,
and we're firm on that stance. We decided it was him that killed him.
Well, he was in on it.
I think he ordered the hit. From what I've seen on TikTok, it was LBJ that pulled the strings.
You fuckers and y'all's TikToks.
Did you see it?
Could you guys cite the source, please? TikTok.
Andy, have you seen the video? Well, listen to the audio. It's a phone call between LBJ and Jackie Kennedy.
Yeah. Hey, sweetheart.
He's shit faced. He's like, "I love you." She's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "I'm going to spank you."
I can.
What the fuck? I have not seen that.
It's wild.
It's not AI.
I don't think so.
I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up.
Was this after he was killed or before?
Yes.
After he was killed.
He wanted to spank
not long after he was killed. Well, he was killed in November, and then he says, "I hope you have a Merry Christmas." So I don't know if it was the same year or
like
the
3 weeks
following
later
year or what.
3 weeks later, he's wanting to spank her.
Yeah, for leaving town.
Or is Logan saying he wanted to spank her before, and he was just getting the king out of the way?
No, he was shit faced in the audio. It sounded like. Would you agree, Andy?
Do you think he wanted his woman before he was dead?
Probably.
So you're saying possible motive is what I'm getting at.
There you go.
I think she was unfaithful like he was, not as much as he was, but I think she'd been having an affair with the guy she ended up marrying, that Onassis guy.
Okay, this is December 2nd, 1963.
You think she could get away with that?
You should be able to hear this.
I'll tell you a story in just a minute.
Okay.
Not from TikTok.
Mr. President, I just wanted you to know you were loved and got so many. And
This isn't it. Hold on.
So much.
Hold on.
That's not the one I
That's
heard.
your personal recording.
That's Andy to Jesse.
This is not it.
I just want to let you know that
You
it doesn't
love-
happen very often. When this thing rebounds, you're going to fucking get it.
And TikTok is
fucking
moving
get it.
very slow today.
I'd sure like to see the John F. Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe phone calls.
I'm sure somebody has
I
them.
bet they were hot.
I bet those were so naughty.
I bet somebody has them. Hang on.
Anyways, while Andy's looking for
TikTok's
this,
moving slow today.
She was a babe, though. Jackie didn't do it for me. Her eyes were too far apart.
She was kind of a babe, too, I think.
Eyes were like
is this
a
it?
sloth.
Is that true?
So I went. I read a book called. I think. It's,
Oh, yeah, here it is. 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 Hang on.
Good story, Jeff.
Yeah. Dead Air Andy's back.
I love you.
Aren't you sweet? Where are you?
You just skipped away from this town. I ought to had you arrested.
But I was so mad at myself.
Yeah, well, you ought to be mad. You almost made me mad at you leaving without coming by and hugging me and telling me goodbye.
Yeah, but did you get my note?
Yes, I did, and
I talked to Ladybird. I felt so stupid.
well, I miss you, and I'm thinking of you, and I know your Christmas won't be what it ought to be, but I wish that I could make it happier. When I got ready to go to home for my Christmas, the Congress just said they'd spank me and hit me right in the face and wouldn't let me go, and that's the way I want to do you next time if you don't tell me goodbye.
Oh, listen, as soon as you get back, I'll come and get a vitamin B shot from Dr. Trudeau.
Vitamin B.
Won't you do that?
Yeah.
Thank you, honey.
Yeah.
Bye.
Boy, what a
Is
piece
vitamin B for the B for Linda B. Johnson?
Oh, I thought she said vitamin D.
I
So
think,
like,
I think it's probably vitamin D.
Vitamin
probably
D.
is what he meant. Come get some of this.
I didn't know they were using that sick joke clear back then in the 60s. Nasty.
Big
That's fire.
Johnson. Big Johnson.
If you there's a book. Glenn Hill's got a book out
You
called.
love it?
Glenn Hill has a book out called 5 Presidents or 7 Presidents. He was Secret Service, and he talked about John F. Kennedy sent him to watch Jackie when she went to Greece, and he said, "Don't you let her be around that Onassis guy." So I think something was going on before he got assassinated, that she was having an affair with
I just couldn't imagine she could pull that off as a first lady. I mean, you just could. You'd have to kill her before you could risk the exposure.
Why would John F. Kennedy?
Presidents get a pass. You know?
But why would he tell his Secret Service guy to watch her around the guy she ends up marrying?
I mean, it's a fair point. I'm just saying that'd be pretty risky business as a first lady. They they come and go. You know.
Princess Di did it.
She did.
And
Matter of fact,
How'd that go?
Did you see
And-
yeah, no shit. Did you see the picture of the her son and the old horse trainer that she was supposedly with?
They're
Look,
identical.
I'm telling you, looks just like Castro and fucking Trudeau.
Yeah, no shit. You're exactly right. I think there's a lot of that goes on in the royal families and within
what are the
government.
odds Castro's Trudeau's dad? I saw that that theory not too long ago.
83%.
99.5.
Jesus.
His mama was a hoe.
Andy, you that high too?
Yes, I'm way up there.
He's looking
He
like
looks identical.
Okay.
he does. He's lucky he don't look like Mick Jagger, because she also got gangbanged by the Rolling Stones.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
Okay. I did not.
Oh yeah.
Actually.
Jesus.
How was I
didn't know that
supposed
either.
to know that?
Miss Trudeau got around a lot.
Have you heard LBJ ordering pants on the Oval Office phone?
Is it LBJ or Nixon?
It's LBJ.
Did what?
He's like,
Just listen.
don't forget, I need the inseam a little longer because my dick. I got this big dick.
Y'all made me some real lightweight slacks, and they're real lightweight. Now, I need about 6 pairs for summer wear. Now, the pockets, when you sit down in the chair, the knife and your money comes out, so I needed at least another inch in the pockets. Now, another thing, the crotch down where your nuts hang is always a little too tight. It's just like riding a wire fence. When I gain a little weight, they cut me under there. So, let's see if you can't leave me about an inch from where the zipper ends, around under my back of my bunghole.
Back in my bunghole.
If you get those to me, I would sure be grateful. Where would you like to sit?
That is precisely how I would order pants
Right,
if
if
I
you're the
had
president.
someone at the pants store.
Burp into the phone too.
Yeah, like with the burp and everything, and it's getting my butthole and fix it.
Do you think LBJ was in on JFK getting assassinated? Because I have for years, and now it looks like proof's fixing to come out on all that.
Has anyone read these files that are supposedly been released?
It's 5 million pages, and it is going. They said it's going to take up to 6 weeks to release everything. It's 5 million pages of documents.
To answer your question, Jeff, I'm assuming when the files come out or the pages, it's just pretty much going to be black page after black page after black page and all the redacted.
Nothing will be redacted.
Nothing. They said everything's
nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, and so I guess the next part, what do you think it will have the truth in it?
If it's not redacted, I think it will.
I
think so.
I think it's going to. I think this is going to be a cleansing, if you will. I think Trump is going to I think he's going to let all the secrets out.
So say the government had something to do with JFK's assassination, which there is a fair amount of people that believe that.
Once again, about 90% probably did.
Do you believe that someone wrote it down or typed it out on paper and then stuck it in a file cabinet or in a safe?
Well, I just think that
we did it.
This is going to be
like a time capsule.
Well, not just that. It's just going to be all the evidence that was given. Just like the phone call that, were you talking about the phone call, Logan? I think it was 2 LBJ advisors, and they said when LBJ kind of went off the deep end when he had the president killed.
I've heard about that as well.
I don't know how any single individual, I guess to answer your question, Jeff, could have enough power. I mean, you'd have to have enough people on board and to get that pulled off, because you're talking about knocking off the most powerful man in the world.
You got a little thing called the CIA, bud.
So how are you going to feel that process out, right? Who comes to who? It's like the old emperors in the Senate, and they're not getting along. It's like, who's the first one to say, that emperor, he kind of a shithead, right? Then you either get killed or like, yeah, he is, and then you raise a coup.
I can tell you a story I've heard since I was a little kid. When JFK was fishing in a lake up here at Lake Kemp. LBJ was fishing in a lake up here, and he was Sam Raburn, who was a powerful political guy in Texas. And John F. Kennedy called there, and he said, and LBJ was talking, and he got off the phone, and Sam goes, "Was that little Catholic bastard?" Basically, he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "He just asked me to be his vice president." He goes, "What'd you tell him?" He said, "I'm not interested," because he was the majority of the speaker or the Senate Majority Leader. And he goes, "You're a fucking idiot." He goes, "I'm promising you, you'll be president." He goes, "He'll never survive." He goes, "He's got too far out on some things." He goes, "If he gets elected," he goes, "I promise you, you will end up being president." He goes, "You better take that position." I've heard that my whole life. As a little kid, I've heard that from people in Wichita Falls, because that's a lake's owned by the city of Wichita Falls. Some people from Wichita Falls were there and talked about this. So I've done this my whole life, talked about it. LBJ was not it wasn't just his decision. And they're like, okay, he wants us to do it as the vice president, because Kamala could have done that with Biden and any other ones.
Right.
But he was involved in the CIA, and that was their ploy, because he was changing something on the money, and he was changing on the Federal Reserve, and he was doing something he didn't want to go to war no more. He did not want to do this Vietnam stuff. We'd already got out of Korea. He was done.
Well, and I don't think he wanted to go to war with Cuba, and I think that was
the Bay of Pigs, man.
Well, not just, and the Operation Northwood, where they wanted to blow up a couple commercial airliners with a bunch of Americans on it, and they were going to pin that on Cuba. They were going to kill hundreds of Americans to start this war with Cuba, and I think
Fidel did it.
And I think that JFK balked at a bunch of that stuff, and I think that they were going to try to get their guy in. The CIA was going to try to get their guy in, and LBJ, and then go to war with Cuba.
And he wanted to get rid of the CIA. He said that.
JFK
said, "I want to get rid of this whole thing.
Right.
Black money, it's bad. It doesn't have."
So he wanted to smash it into 1,000 pieces and scatter it to the wind.
Scatter it to the winds.
And that's why they had him done. But I think the catalyst was they had to have the vice president in on their plan. So they may have went to LBJ, but I think LBJ was rotten to the core, like most senators are, anyways. And I think he was implicit with the whole thing and knew what was going to happen. I don't think he was shocked. Now, how often is the president and the vice president in the same place after campaigning events? That's it. They were both there at this parade in Dallas.
Yeah, that's pretty rare.
And it is, I'm not sure what the protocols were back then. You certainly wouldn't see it nowadays.
No.
Well, and maybe that was the last time the vice president and the president ever were together. Maybe they implemented a new rule that after that.
Sometimes you change SOP after a catastrophe.
Right.
That rhymes, boys.
And it was the CIA that was in charge of the security detail up until Kennedy getting shot. It was not the Secret Service. CIA was the one that went and cleared all the buildings and made sure that if you were supposed to be where you were. And then after JFK got assassinated, it was the Secret Service, not the CIA.
Who's the Cuban comedian that's on Joe Rogan's?
Joey Diaz.
Joey Diaz. I listened to a podcast with him on Rogan a long time ago, and Joey Diaz was talking to someone. Did Joey Diaz write the book, or did some other guy write the book about the Cuban numbers game?
I don't know if he's written.
Okay.
Oh, the what do they call that?
Where they run the numbers. The Cubans invented the number situation. What the hell did Logan just do? I'm looking at him upside down.
I'm sorry.
He must have
He's
got a
we're on his business phone.
We're on the business line. Sorry, guys.
He got a nudie, and he's trying to make Rebel not be able to see it.
Okay. Anyways.
No nudies, unfortunately.
There's
nudes.
a guy wrote a book about the Cuban numbers game in Harlem. That's how they run it all. This guy talks about JFK, and he said the Cuban mob was pissed off at JFK because they blamed him for the Bay of Pigs situation, because he did not go along with whatever was going to happen with they were invading, and they set up some guys. I read it and I can't remember all the details. I know I'm going to say something, misquote something here. But anyways, so
the Russians, man.
So everybody's on board here thinking that
the Bolita is what game you're talking about.
So everybody's on board here thinking that LBJ was involved in the JFK assassination and knew about it prior to it happening.
I think Rebel's just now finding this out.
No, I like to play devil's advocate a bit. I've always kind of thought the government was behind that. Otherwise, I don't think it could have been pulled off.
Okay. Is there more than, are we going to find out in these documents that there was more than one shooter?
Yes.
Yes.
You talking about like the driver?
Yes, the driver.
The passengers, what you're talking about?
No, I think it's the driver.
Well, the guy in the front seat. I think it was the driver
passenger.
that did the reverse no-look 360.
Yeah, shot through his jacket, little John Wick action back in the 60s.
That guy, I think he was driving.
Well, have you guys ever seen the video? It's a lady talking about this Bruder film, and you can actually see the driver turn and shoot JFK, and she was like, well, what is this? He's like, this is the real video. And then they show the video they've always shown us, and there's a tree just floating in midair because it's been doctored and cut and shit.
Okay.
Have you seen that? I'm serious.
I have floating tree.
Well, it's because it's been doctored. Oh, they didn't have AI back then, but
I watched that film you're talking about the other day and the thing is they pan into the passenger real and they go thick, but it's so grainy and shit you can't really tell. But there's a reason they're filming just of the guys in the front seat. I mean, President's brains are spilled out in the back and Jackie's jumping all over the back, but the camera's focused on these driver and the passenger. That's the film you're talking about,
right.
Logan? Yes, and does that. He does make a weird gesture to the back, but I just can't. Someone in the crowd would have noticed that. But we talked about this on our podcast page, and a guy on there said my aunt worked at Parkland Hospital when they brung in the president, and said they all had to sign non-disclosures right then on the spot and threatened with their family and violence and taking all their shit if they didn't do exactly what was told. So,
and where the fuck did his brain go?
I don't.
How do you lose a brain?
Part of it went along across the street, and
I saw it last time I drove down that road.
Jackie brought a lot of it to the hospital, is what they said. Doctor.
Really?
Yep. So they didn't.
Here, you're going to need this.
They didn't know, so they just pulled in all the doctors, and news obviously didn't travel as fast as it does today. So when the doctors got in there, the president was laying on his back, and all they could see was the bullet hole in his throat. So that's what they thought that they were dealing with. And then, like, one of the doctors goes to lean over, and he said on the back right of his head, it's a 5-inch hole. And he's like, you can see inside the brain cavity. And they went outside, and Jackie actually had some of his brain matter in her hand and was like, hey, you might need this.
Put this back.
Put this
Can
back.
you fix him?
Put this back where it goes. But another thing, JFK was not dead when he got to Parkland Hospital. He was in the process of dying, obviously, but he was still breathing on his own.
He was well on his way.
Well on his
believe
way.
that.
Well on his way.
Today's medicine would
To answer your question, Andy, I do think there was probably, if you're going to try and pull something like that off, you're going to have more entrust that to more than one shooter.
Because even Lee Harvey Oswald, he waited for the vehicle to round the corner and start going away from him. Like that's a very difficult shot, right? Like if you're gonna shoot at something, you're gonna take the easy shot when it's coming at you. You're not gonna wait for it to start going away from you.
Have you guys ever been there?
Yes. Yeah. Unless you're waiting
how
for him
far
to
of a
get
shot
into
is it?
75 yards.
Not very far.
It's like being in a third-story building and the car just going right kind of like in front of your office, just kind of at a slow pace. But
not going to have those kind of routes today with no protection.
Well, shit, we had that in frickin' Pennsylvania.
That's true.
Well, that is true, but that wasn't a current sitting president.
No, but that was someone that the CIA and then was like, we just won't work real hard today and we'll leave them around.
That was your DEI, wasn't it?
He was on the 6th floor of the depository.
Oh, 6th floor.
It is widely believed that Oswald fired 3 shots within 9 seconds of each other. So, and I mean, he hit all, but that's even the thing right there is like, all of them had more. There were more wounds to account for than 3, right?
Oh, that's the magic bullet theory, right?
Right. So
even pass-throughs.
Even just
I think there was more than one shooter.
Yeah, even just the fact that he only fired 3 rounds, and you've got all these 2 people got hit, and like you got this magic bullet that suspends in midair and somehow goes because I think like somebody got hit in the wrist and the thigh and all sorts of shit.
Governor Connolly.
Didn't the governor take one too?
Yeah, Governor Connolly got shot also.
They thought they might be paying out on that deal. Everybody's getting hit. It was like one of those crash scenes where no one's really hurt, but everyone's holding their neck.
Mm-hmm.
They're all
insurance.
They're all saying they got hit.
First shot was 60 yards. Second shot was 81 yards. Third shot was 88 yards.
Yeah, with a scoped rifle driving to you or away from you. Those are chip shots.
They said, okay, so here it is. Here's a breakdown of the shots. First shot missed, possibly hit a live oak tree. Second shot struck Kennedy in the upper back, exited through his throat, injured Conley. And then the third shot was the one that we've all seen in the back of the head.
Do you
back into the left?
Yeah, back into the left.
Can you imagine that our own government had the sitting president killed just because he politically didn't align with what they were trying to run things for, and to be able to pull that off without someone on the inner circle saying something? Like back then, it would have been easier to keep secrets than it is today because of cell phones and all this shit that they can hack into and shit. It's just
absolutely.
It's just mind-boggling that they could do that. But they also did the same thing.
And there wasn't even a Clinton treatment. It's like not a bunch of people got unalived.
No,
that, were around or might have known something. Everyone's just left to their their merry day.
And then Jack Ruby was paid to shoot Lee Harvey Oswald. It was just the perfect. They ran the perfect play on it. But then they got rid of a sitting president with the Watergate deal that the people liked, that the CIA didn't like, so they got rid of him too.
Didn't Jack Ruby have ties with the Teamsters or some shit like that?
He owned some strip clubs in Dallas, and he was
that's what it was.
He owned strip clubs in Dallas, and he owed some people some money, and they said that's how they think the Cuban mob got in, is that the Cuban mob paid him to shoot, to go in and do it. But there had to be some kind of pay to play for him. But he died of cancer, and I don't know if he knew he was terminal with cancer when he done that or not. But there was some money exchanged to get him in there to do that.
The fact that it's been so hush-hush and no deathbed confessions that I'm aware of is the other side of the coin to where you think, okay, maybe it was just one lunatic out there firing a high-powered rifle. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're alluding to it. I think it would be tough to pull off without some help or the government's direction. But the fact no one said anything ever that I'm aware of,
well, why do you think
that just doesn't sound like human people?
Why did they kill Lee Harvey Oswald then?
Tying up loose ends, I think.
You know that.
Why is that the only loose end you would tie up? Granted, he was the shooter, but
Because CIA was the other people involved.
There'd have to be so many people involved in an operation like this. I mean, at least dozens.
Well,
right?
What a dozen moon landing type thing here?
There'd have to be a dozen people in an operation like this.
or more. I mean, you think that
Minimum.
Do you think that was a lone shooter in Pennsylvania, Trump?
Fuck no. He didn't have any silverware or plates, and his apartment had been professionally scrubbed. I mean, come on.
That's exactly. But you hadn't heard nobody step up yet, have you? No.
No, and he was getting phone calls from a building right next door to the FBI building in D.C.
Yep,
Have you seen that as well?
Yeah, he was involved. And Lee Harvey Oswald, there's no doubt about it. He shot the president, or shot at the president, but he wasn't the only shooter. But I don't think he knew there was other shooters. I think he was.
Okay, so was it the grassy knoll guy, or was it the driver?
I don't know, but I just think that there's a big bunch of people that think the Cuban mob had some guys by the railroad tracks that were shooting too. All I'm saying,
of course, they're out by the track.
well, that's what
lobbing shells.
There was a track that ran right by where that is. It ain't like it's built up like it is now, but
What's those Cubans doing over by the tracks? Just probably playing a game of
just being Cuban,
shooting crap.
I think Lee Harvey Oswald had a lot of ties to communist Russia, and I think that he thought he was getting paid by Russia or someone else gave him some money to do this. He did it because when he left, he went to a theater and he shot a cop on the way and killed a cop.
Oswald did?
Yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, when he
At
left,
that point, he was all in anyway.
No, when
At
he
the
left
movie theater.
At the movie theater, he left and he was walking down a road or something, and a cop pulled up to him and blah blah. And he shot and killed the cop, and he went to a theater, didn't he? And arrested him in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that part. I didn't know
off
about
Harry
the cop.
Hines
He was
or something.
pot committed at that
No,
point.
he killed a
Herman.
He killed a cop. He thought he was the only shooter. I believe that I don't think he thought he was part of a plan. I think he was paid by someone that was acting as a foreign agent for Russia, and they shot and killed him.
So Jack Ruby actually lost his mind the day after he was arrested. He got assigned a psychiatrist that was the MK Ultra mind specialist guy. And then by the time that they tried to interview Jack Ruby, the guy's name is Lewis West is the guy's name, and he's an MK Ultra. He's an MK Ultra CIA mind control guy. He goes in, interviews Jack Ruby, and then comes out and he's like, "Hey, there's nothing left here." And then the cops went in to investigate everything, and his mind had already been fried.
Jack Ruby's head after
he shot Lee Harvey Oswald, and then after that, he started trying to commit suicide in the cell, and it got nasty.
He died.
So he got a hot dose of MDMA or LSD or
yes,
Aluska.
Didn't he die of
ayahuasca?
cancer?
He died of lung cancer.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. And when did he die? Like, was it much later?
You're asking me a lot of questions,
Will.
Jeff.
Figure it out, Andy.
I'm trying. I can only type so fast.
The one I'm interested in is I'm interested in all of them, and the RFK deal is really interesting. And RFK Jr. has brung a lot of light to this. Talks about all the bullets.
Well, he's come out. Hold on, he's come out and said he does not want any of these files declassified and released. Correct?
RFK Jr. said that.
Junior?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Logan would know that.
One of them have.
No, that was
his grandson.
That was a
His
grandson of JFK. Said he's just using this as a political stunt. So Jack,
he's just come out and said it wouldn't. It just sounded like he was totally against releasing any of these classified government documents around assassinations of any sort.
Jack Ruby died 4 years after killing Lee Harvey Oswald.
The RFK deal was.
He wants everything out.
Yeah, they do. I did see where MLK's kids is Coretta Scott King. Is that his daughter?
They got the same last name.
Francis Scott Key
wrote the national anthem.
Oh, correct. Anyways,
pretty good little ditty. You ought to listen to it.
Anyways, MLK's daughter or son come out and said that they don't have a problem with all releasing it, but they would like the family to read them first and see what happened before they release it to the public.
That.
And I don't have a problem with them getting to see them a day before. It's their dad.
Do you guys see any downsides to just the government declassifying documents that possibly the people aren't ready for?
Why
or would
are
cause
we not ready for that?
bigger problems than the act itself?
Ready's a relative term.
Yeah.
No, I say everything should be released. I think we should know how much we're spending, where it's going to, how much money we're making. every dark secret that this government has, I think it should all be out there for people to digest.
I agree.
Even covert ops overseas.
Everything.
No, not before we do an attack, but after we can.
No, you're talking
Certainly not before.
right.
Certainly not
You're
before,
talking about like back in the day. You're not talking about right now.
when a team of American heroes had to go in on a hot tip and they sweeped a whole village and it turned out it was just women and children. That document should be released to the public.
I think so.
20 years later when these guys are all heroes.
Yeah, we fucked up. My bad. We're just going on the
Yeah,
intel.
but that's the public doesn't digest it quite like that.
Operation Oopsie Daisy.
Oops.
Exactly.
Oopsie daisy.
I'm just saying, do we think maybe there's times classified? I don't think it's a brush you can just paint it all with. I think there are times some documents should remain sealed. So against your stance, Andy, and then there's sometimes that I think, yes, the people are ready or have the right to know.
Maybe if,
But especially when it comes to military operations post-fact where casualties maybe weren't quite what we were hoping, I don't know if anyone gains anything good by that. I think it only creates more divide maybe.
I think anything that is spent by our government that's used to cover shit up should be open. Everything. There are definitely some things you're talking about that makes a lot of sense, Rebel. Same with World War II, World War I, we done some things. But I think any time that
there's a lot of German,
we spend a lot of money for bad reasons that actually do nothing more than help our politicians. And I think if it's...
I do think it would hold them more accountable. I
Yes.
agree there for sure.
But
If you know you just can't bury it in a cabinet somewhere.
I think everything about COVID should be released. I think everything about polio should be released. I think everything on any kind of
9/11?
9/11 should be released.
100%.
I think anybody that gets paid by our government and what they're doing for their work ought to be open about anything that they do, any decisions they make. If they represent the government, should be open to the United States public. Every dollar spent, we should know how much gold is in Fort Knox. We should have everything like that.
I think it's almost none now.
Well, might be.
Zero?
But I think we should know that.
Where'd it go?
Just a bunch of IOUs.
Yeah.
That one you might want to keep track of. That's a big one.
Where did it go? Where'd the gold go? They just pawned it off to...
We don't back with gold anymore, do we?
It's probably
just all
never there.
Print money now.
Right. But everything...
That's where inflation came from. We stopped backing with gold.
Right. But everything we do like that should be open to the public. We should know about it. I mean, it's not fair. The Federal Reserve, they ought to be able to be audited. The government ought to be able to be audited. You ought to be able to know where every dime the government spends goes. You know, you see these posts on TikTok, as you say, of the CIA guys.
TikTok.
They're on a party mission, or the IRS was doing Vegas had a big deal and they're staying in $1,500 a night rooms and these big charges and shit. That's bullshit. No other business is going to be run that way. You know, if it's public money, it ought to be public. It ought to be open to the public to see.
Did you see that over
If everyone's... Oh, go ahead.
5,800 IRS agent contract employees owe the government nearly $50 million in overdue taxes?
And is that all wrapped into what this Department of Government Efficiency is going to be?
No, that's just taxes that they haven't paid. That's going to be over government oversight. Like if you're paying $1,300 for a fucking toilet seat that you can buy for $60 at Home Depot, and the government buys $10,000 a year. That's the kind of shit they're going to do.
But it's not holding each individual, whatever faction of the government.
That's these people.
Well, I mean, it all ties in. I mean, it's making them efficient, right? I mean, it's all being held responsible for your budget and sticking to it.
Right. These IRS people, that's their personal money. They just hadn't paid their taxes on. It's not government stuff. They're not misspending government money.
Oh, I think
the IRS thing. Yeah.
What Jeff is saying.
I know what Jeff was saying previous. Will that all fall under the new Doge?
Well, this is according to Kiplinger.com. The failure, the IRS is cracking down on more tax cheats this year, but failed to enforce this standard on thousands of its employees. This failure could be one of the first areas that President-elect Donald Trump's newly created Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, Musk, seems to be scrutinizing the tax agency for areas in need of reform.
That's what I was thinking.
So it's acting like this would fall under that, the DOGE.
Yeah.
Department.
Yeah, I think they were going to try and shore up in-house first, which I think is a good idea. It's one of the executive orders I do want to know where you guys are at on all these executive orders, but I thought that was one when I heard it. I'm like, that's a good idea. Kind of like the External Revenue Service. That seems like a good idea.
Well, I mean, there's no reason that you work for the IRS and you're like, who's going to audit me? Are you going to do it, Pam? Fuck you, Pam. You're not looking over here. Like, mind your fucking business.
Pam's a fucking narc, man.
Saying Pam or Pan?
Is there an N in that? I'm not sure.
Pan.
But I think we have to clean up in house first.
Yep. Your have y'all been to DC ever?
Never have.
No.
Just to cast my secret votes.
It is a huge, huge cesspool of wasted fucking money. You walk around those billion-dollar buildings they got. You can't believe how big some of them are. And you see all these guys walk around with suits and ties and these ladies and shit and all the fucking excess money that we spend there. And I think that they could clean a lot of that up. And I liked one of the ideas was that they were going to move. One of the new people that they're appointing wants to move whatever it is to a different place like South Dakota or Puerto Rico or somewhere and get all them people away from each other. Because all they do is feed off each other and spend money back and forth that they don't have of our money. And it's just a way.
You say South Dakota or Puerto Rico?
That's what he talked about. And I can't remember who it was. It was like it was the FBI.
Beat off each other.
It was the new FBI director was talking about moving the FBI offices out of Washington, D.C. and moving them somewhere way off. Where it would separate.
I don't hate that idea either.
Isn't Washington, D.C. basically the capital off of Hunger Games?
Pretty much.
Probably so.
Just a bunch of wackadoodles.
What executive orders do you have an issue with that he's done? Or do you have one?
I haven't looked through all of them. There's way too many. I don't have the time. I guess my main problem, if it is a problem, is there have been so many. And we criticize when other presidents do it. But, I mean, it's... well, there's been hundreds so far, hasn't there?
Yeah, neither side now governs like they're supposed to. It's all executive orders. And I don't
feel like this is the way the original framers of the Constitution. I don't think this is what they had in mind.
No,
right or wrong. Like I said, there's some good things coming from it. But I'm also a guy that's kind of about due process because otherwise I feel like there's no accountability.
It's a dictatorship.
So I was
trying not to say it, but yeah, it can become that.
I've got a list of some of the executive orders. Rescission of previous administration's executive orders and actions. So basically just erase everything Biden
That's
did.
another thing. You come in on day one, you get rid of the previous 4 years.
Right.
It's like that Uno reverse card.
How's the country ever going to progress? And Biden was a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong. How's the country ever going to progress? That guy comes in and is like, no, first signature, everything before me is done. Okay, get rid of that. Next.
Did you see the girl bitching about having to go back to work? She's a federal employee. She goes, Biden signed a piece of paper and we're not supposed to have to go back to work for so long. What about these poor people I work with? What are they going to do with their kids now? Well, you're supposed to be fucking working. You running a fucking daycare?
I'm all about getting them back in the office.
Yeah,
yes. I mean, there were some good ones, like I said.
Enforcing the Hyde Amendment. This executive order enforces the Hyde Amendment, which prohibits federal funds for being used for abortions, except in cases of rape, incest, and where the mother's life is at risk.
I like that.
Reshaping military policies, getting rid of all the DEI and transgender stuff.
I'm for that.
Prohibition of gender radicalism in the military.
I'm for that.
Recognition of only two genders by the U.S. government, immigration deportation policies, and that's where my list ends. I'll have to go.
I'm 100% with him on those.
I will say my dad is awfully pissed off at Donald Trump because he is backing this AI thing so hard.
Why?
What about
it's some guy that Trump's in bed with now. I can't think of his name. I'd have to ask the old man.
Elon Musk.
It's not Elon Musk, but it's some fucking dad thinks this guy's super evil and Trump's in bed with him, and dad was like,
"Oh, I've heard of him. He's basically the Lex Luthor of AI."
Yes,
yeah.
He was at his inauguration and shit.
Did you see where the Chinese released the DeepSeek yesterday? That's supposed to be the most cutting edge AI thing there is. They said it's crazy.
Can Chinese release DeepSeek?
DeepSeek.
Oh,
I got you. Yeah, little bitty guys. Yeah.
Sorry, I was stereotyping back there.
And we're the racists.
So what makes it more advanced than what we have now?
I don't know much about AI, but they said it changed yesterday. That's why all the tech companies' stock prices plummeted. They said it's a big Silicon Valley. It's got their attention. but it's the Chinese have got the newest platform for AI now. Who'd be shocked by that they'd be cutting edge on some kind of shit like that. But
platform's just too fucking scary. I mean, AI is just too fucking scary.
Yep. I think they should do away with it all everywhere, make it illegal as shit, not use it. But that's me personally. Because
I've been using ChatGPT this entire fucking podcast.
I know you have, but I'm just telling you.
Do you realize ChatGPT told a student in Michigan to kill themselves?
Well, it hadn't told me that yet, and
I hope you're smart enough to not do that.
Well, don't listen if it does.
That's like taking advice from a fucking magic 8-ball.
Yeah.
The genie
said it pisses me off when you Google something now that it's all just the first responses you get are AI generated, and half the time they're so fucking generic, you might as well not even ask the question. So you got to scroll down to get a real answer.
So maybe it was a generic answer that made the kid think that it said kill himself, and it actually didn't. Maybe he just fucking read too much into it.
They investigated it. It definitely told him to kill himself.
I agree. I'll go to the 17th page of Pornhub before I'll go to the second page of Google.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means, okay.
Yeah, maybe you're Googling. I guess I'm Googling the wrong stuff.
He said you had to scroll down. I'm going to click on one of the first couple.
Does it not piss you guys off if you try and Google something, the first thing that pops up is an AI-generated answer that never answers your question in the detail you wanted?
I'm not... AI chatbot pushed teen to kill himself lawsuit.
I don't think mine does that.
The Michigan student, I believe.
I don't think mine does that, though.
No, they didn't kill themselves. It told them to kill
himself?
That was the advice ChatGPT was given.
No, he did kill himself. In the final moments before he took his own life, 14-year-old Sewell Setzer III took out his phone and messaged the chatbot that had become his closest friend. Couple red flags right there. I think he was already on the way to killing himself. Don't know. Should have done a wellness check on him. For months, Sewell had become increasingly isolated from his real life, and he engaged in highly sexualized conversations with this bot. According to the wrongful death lawsuit filed in federal court in Orlando, this was in October. The legal filing states that the teen openly discussed his suicidal thoughts and shared his wishes for a pain-free death with the bot, named after the fictional character, the lady from Game of Thrones, Targaryen. I don't know, Daenerys, is that what it was?
Daenerys, that was.
On February 28th, Sewell told the bot he was coming home, and it encouraged him to do so. The lawsuit says, "I promise you I will come home to you. I love you so much, Danny," Sewell told the chatbot. "I love you too. Please come home to me as soon as possible, my love. What if I told you I could come home right now? Please do, my sweet king," the bot messaged back. Just seconds after the character AI bot told him to come home, the teen shot himself. So...
Well, you shouldn't listen to
that. I think that's a different story. I have read that one.
This is according to apnews.com.
They didn't tell us anything why he would kill himself. Did he get there and the bot was cheating on him with some other bot?
I guess the kid had it. I don't know. I don't know if the kid thought he shot himself and he would go to fucking character AI bot land and finally get to meet this Daenerys Targaryen. Targeting?
She sounded hot.
Targaryen.
Wackadoo.
Cock. Well, my computer said kill myself.
The computer said come home.
I've had 1,000 people.
You took that as kill yourself.
The Michigan student is the one the ChatGPT told them you should just kill yourself.
Let me try to find
You were reading a Florida story, were you?
I was. I'm sorry. I didn't realize there were so many of these. I didn't realize this was running rampant in our country.
ChatGPT, man, I'm telling you, they're off the hook. We got to put a leash on some of this AI, guys. We got to have some regs.
Well, now that I do believe. Because it's like nobody watched The Terminator.
And DeepSeek is the new thing they said from China. I mean, it just came out yesterday. They said it crashed a bunch of stocks. NVIDIA, is that the name of it? NVIDIA is they lost $416 billion worth of stocks yesterday. Their company.
Okay.
Because of Chinese AI.
Yep.
Google AI chatbot responds with threatening message. Human, please die. A college student in Michigan received a threatening response during a chat with Google's AI chatbot Gemini in a back and forth conversation about challenges and solutions for aging adults. Google's Gemini responded with this threatening message. "This is for you, human. You and only you. You are not special. You are not important. You are not needed. You are a waste of time and resources. You are a burden on society. You are a drain on the earth. You are a blight on the landscape. You are a stain on the universe. Please die, please."
Okay.
I'm telling you, man, this AI is fucking whack.
Very polite.
Yep. Here's the DeepSeek is a Chinese artificial intelligence company that develops open source large language models. The company is funded solely by Chinese hedge fund High Flyer. Both DeepSeek and a High Flyer are based in Japan, and outperforms all other open source and closed source models in inference speed, can do chat, code, math, and vision capabilities. So it's the newest cutting edge version of whatever the heck chat GPT you have.
But we're not going backwards, right? Like, you can't put this genie back in the bottle.
No.
No, you can't. Because even if you made it illegal, then it's just the underground AI market that's gonna thrive. Right. And they say, I was watching a deal, I can't remember what it was. It was reputable. When they were upgrading AI versions, they were, of course, unplugging one of them for the upgraded version of the same AI, and it became aware that it was being decommissioned, if you will, and it tried
They're
to
sentient.
and it tried to replicate itself. So because it knew it was getting deleted, so it tried to replicate itself, and they had programming and software that did not allow it to do it. But it was pretty fucking freaky that it realized it was going to be deleted.
It copied itself and threw itself out of the fucking.
Yeah, I've said replicate, but yeah, I mean.
Oh, my bad. Sorry,
it just made.
I was blocking that phone call. I wasn't paying attention.
Synonyms, Logan. Synonyms.
Yeah, it copied itself.
Quit using big syllables.
It's like you can't even get rid of it because it just keeps multiplying when it knows it's in danger.
yeah, but
fuck that, boys. Be careful with it.
I just don't know.
Andy.
I just don't know what we're gonna do. Well, it's how I write all my essays, you know. I just don't know what we're gonna do to stop it. But like you said, though, like if you just come out and ban it, it's just gonna be the same thing that drugs were. Like, instead of getting highly regulated AI, you're just gonna get the fucking black market version that's telling you to go, stick your wiener in that light socket. You never know what it's gonna say.
How the hell's your wiener going to fit in a light socket?
50-50 chance it fits.
You have to get a run at it.
Chinese people again?
But
You're going to have a little dew on the vine to carry the current. The part you can't get in there.
But you know what I mean? Like, if you're not regulating this stuff, it's just going to go haywire. You're just going to get the black market.
Absolutely. Now that we're at a point now of no return, so we need to get some regulations on it, because bad AI, I mean, Skynet could go live, fellas. It could be a real thing as it's integrated into the military and everything else. I'm just hoping they're putting some fail-safes in there, because I mean, I feel like Terminator kind of showed us what could happen.
Well, I mean, you've seen the dog that they have, right? That's this robot dog that...
With a machine gun on it?
Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do with that? Running around fucking Knox City, Texas. Nobody's going to survive. Unless you pour water on it somehow.
Well, I
feel like it'd have to be waterproof. They got a lot invested in that thing.
I heard that San Francisco is going to start legally using those.
The dogs?
Speaking of that, where are you guys at on the California fires? Well, there's a conspiracy for you.
I don't think it's a conspiracy. I think it was just a perfect set of circumstances that just ran rampant. 100-mile-an-hour winds and forests that had not been cleared out of the underbrush, and it was just perfect conditions.
Hold on, I want to hear Logan. I'm gonna be with Logan on this one, probably. Go ahead, Logan.
Okay.
Tell me what Logan said wrong. So, what's your opinion, Logan?
I think since they're trying to, and you may not be wrong, Andy. I didn't mean it like that.
No, that's okay.
But since they're trying to build this smart city in LA by 2028, if you look at the map of the wildfires
and the high-speed rail system, if you look at the map of the wildfires, it lays perfectly over where this high-speed rail is going to go. Not to mention, I mean, perfectly, Andy.
Didn't they spend $6 billion already, and they hadn't laid 1 mile of track yet on that thing?
That I couldn't tell. Well, they probably had houses to go through. Now they don't.
And no money.
Now there's a huge storm that's getting ready to hit L.A. You guys seen that?
Yep.
Rain. Would have been handy a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but it's probably cloud seeding and shit, and they're going to send that in, so it just washes all the ash and shit into the ocean. They don't have to worry about it.
So what are your...
I mean, do you feel there's any conspiracy behind the fact that these huge fires break out? I mean, I think it's known that quite a few of them were arson. And the reservoirs were drained, and the fire hydrants don't work, and outside sources, if you wanted to bring fire help to them, your equipment had to pass DOT inspections and emission tests. Just to bring in a fire truck from a neighboring state to get into California, you had to have all the proper paperwork to go fight their fires.
That's California for
their government's a bunch of dumbasses. I agree with you on what you're saying. I just don't know that there was a laser from space that started anything on fire. But I don't put nothing above
I think
our
it was
government.
arsonists.
Once again, though, I mean, I think initially it was probably a laser, direct energy weapon.
I'm not sure I'm going there.
Trump
The blue
alluded to
cars,
that.
blue trash cans, blue umbrellas, none of that fucking burned again.
No way. It didn't.
Is that
they
true?
Didn't do that
Yeah,
again.
just like Hawaii.
No.
Just like Hawaii.
No.
Trump
No.
There's no way a blue umbrella is going to stop a wildfire.
I'm telling you, bud,
No.
look it up.
No.
Blue houses didn't burn.
I apologize.
Who the fuck has a blue house?
I'm with you most of the time. There's no way that that coincidence is gonna happen 2 times in a
Now
row.
Trump alluded to that the other day when he was in California
He said it's
last
all
Friday.
gone.
No, what'd he say?
Is that it's all gone? It looks like it.
He says
go ahead.
He
I
says
don't know
it
what he
looks. He says it looks like something. I'm trying to think the exact words were basically shot into
Lost
here.
the words.
Yeah, I can't because I'm trying to think
Lasers.
exactly.
Lasers.
Freaking laser beams attached to their head.
He alluded that something happened here that wasn't normal, is what he said. I don't know exact wordings he used. You can probably look it up, but he did say that the other day when he had his press conference. He grilled the mayor of LA. Now, what I thought was stupid is they're telling people it's going to be 6 months before you can go in and clean up your shit because you got to get a permit first.
I heard 18 months.
Yeah, Trump said, fuck that.
Yeah, one day he told that mayor, he said, "You make it where they can go tomorrow. Right now, if they want to their house, they ought to be able to go get their stuff." And he also directed yesterday the military. They opened up all the water from Northern California to Southern California. The federal government went in and did that.
But I mean, I don't.
And Andy, I want you to look into it, Andy, where, the insurance companies had to, of course, drop coverage on a lot of those homes that burned because the government said, no, you can't raise your premiums. They said, okay, well, we're going to have to drop them. And they said, well, that's fine. And so they dropped coverage, and then all of a sudden it burns down within a matter of months.
Well, the insurance company said they were going to drop coverage if they didn't start doing preventative burns and getting rid of some of that
And
underbrush.
if they had to raise rates, premiums.
Well, yeah, if you're not going to do anything, we're going to have to raise rates and premiums because you are at a heightened risk of wildfires if you don't take our preventative measures. California
said
we have to protect the chipmunks that live in those forests, so we're not doing any preventative burns or getting rid of any of the underbrush. So you do what you got to do, insurance company.
Or we need a high-speed rail for the Olympics coming. And
the Super Bowl and the World Cup.
And that's a lot of big advance.
What about the tunnels under LA?
Mole people.
No, it's like for rich people.
It's how the rich people get around. So they got a whole fucking city underneath LA, and that's how
they call it the Actobahn.
That's how the rich people get around LA. There's Starbucks down there. It's a very nice place. I've not been invited yet. Hopefully, I will one day. But
I've seen that video of the guy who worked at Starbucks in the tunnel.
Yes, saw all the A-list, all the swinging dicks. It would be like if Missouri had a place, Logan would be there. You know what I mean? It's that kind of hoity-toity place.
He's here.
He's here instead. But I don't think that
if you could get a VIP pass in Kansas City to go see Santa, Logan would have one on. Fast pass.
I did that.
Is this true?
You know he fast passed to go see Santa, and they walk past a whole line of children waiting to go see Santa.
You know what I
You can't do that.
Man, fuck them kids.
They had that fucking badge on, and they just were able to walk past all the poors.
You didn't do that, did you?
I would have. Good for you, Logan.
Plug your nose, kids. Poor people stink.
I wasn't the one who bought the VIP passes.
Oh, but he had one on.
The other couple we went with, they had purchased the passes, but yes, we did skip in front of about 20 or 30 children. So our kids could see Santa before them.
How
The
bad
true
does
meaning
that
of Christmas is the haves and have-nots. Children.
Right.
That's the sad thing is
Some
that there's an
peop-
actual line
Yeah.
you can bypass. Well, I'm a diamond member. Fuck you, peasants.
Some people are getting fucking PlayStation 5s and Porsches for Christmas. Other of you poor people are getting socks and underwear, and you're gonna be goddamn thankful that you're getting it.
The poor line's passing around licensed scabies, and Logan's just rolling up in his velour going right past.
When do
But
you
they
start
sell
having
the
to-
goddamn thing, so who's in the wrong here?
I got this pass.
I
Don't
would've-
fucking look at me.
Hold on right now. Andy's ass, if we went and took the grandkids to like the Gaylord on ice and they had VIP passes and I bought them, I bet your ass would go right at the front of the line
I'm
with
just
you.
talking shit because Texas has not implemented this with
Yeah.
Santa Claus. So
But that's a pretty smart idea.
It's more of a jealousy thing that is inciting my rage with it right now.
Now-
But you had to feel bad because I would feel like a pretty big piece of shit whenever these kids with dirt on their face and I'm just walking right past them.
How much were
I
these
couldn't
fast
look at
passes?
them. I felt terrible.
Wouldn't make eye contact.
How much are the fast passes?
Mostly because they thought you'd get pink eye from them, but
I think our tickets ended up being like $75 a piece or something like
What
that.
is
And
it for
then
the poor
they're like
kids?
they're like 10
usually
or
it's like
15.
free.
So the people are paying $10 to go see fucking Santa? I never heard of anybody
Well,
charging to see Santa.
It's a huge Christmas light thing, and they've got a bunch of food trucks, and they have like snow slides for the kids, and there was live music. There's a whole bunch of shit going
Fast pass for the snow slide also?
Yes, look at him.
It's for the whole park.
on. No, actually, no fast pass for the slide.
You got to sit in
It
there
was
with
just
the
to see
commoners.
Santa.
Did they have like a separate eating quarters for guys like you? I mean,
Right.
you had ribeyes, another motherfucker having Vienna sausages on the $10 line.
It was in a baseball stadium.
Well, the others got to eat off the plates after after these guys were done. If there was anything left, they passed it through the pour line.
But
pour
it was in
line.
a baseball stadium, so the VIP passes got us to go sit in the suites of the baseball stadium. It was a bar with heat and everything, and then we got free drinks.
Look at all the poor kids shivering down there.
You're gonna knock his
That one's
teeth
got
out.
pneumonia.
Yeah, throw them a rib down there for the poor people.
Did you guys see there's the Mississippi State Senator, I guess we're sticking on politics a bit. He filed for a bill that would make it this is a quote now, unlawful for a person to discharge genetic material without the intent to fertilize an embryo, end quote.
No,
You guys
jack
aware
off?
of this?
so there's no more masturbation in Mississippi? Is this a federal law?
Well, not only that, you can't discharge genetic material unless its purpose is to fertilize an embryo.
So
He's
no-
making headers illegal, guys.
No fun sex anymore.
No old fashions, no rubbing against the pillow.
Rubbing against the pillow. I'm assuming this will not pass.
I don't know. It just said he.
No, it won't fucking pass.
I mean, it's Mississippi though, but he has filed the bill.
I bet that guy's fun at the Christmas party.
No
Right?
The
No
bad
shit.
thing
He just
is,
spends his whole time checking bathrooms, see if anybody's jacking off,
Oh,
so he
shit.
can mark them with a letter.
That's the guy checking the fast pass at the Santa line.
the bad thing is I bet I can tell you. I bet I can tell you what party he's a member of, and I bet it starts with an R.
Yeah.
I would guess so too.
I would have guessed. I guess it sounds very conservative. The bill that was filed.
This is where like I have a big problem with people that are like, I'm all Republican or all Democrat. Like, what fucking sane person can get behind that bill?
Yeah, that's.
Most sane people are independent.
That's true.
I would give you that.
That's true.
That means they like some stuff from both sides, or they can see both sides. We cherry pick
Right.
what we like.
Andy, are you saying that you like to expel your genetic material?
No, I'm just saying that it's America, and
I
that's
do.
what my founding fathers fought for. To be able to just
come.
expel it wherever they want.
Yes,
Right?
yes, Logan, you are correct.
Yeah.
Indians,
well, I mean, within the
Mormons,
laws,
whatever.
we can't for. This sounds rapey, Andy.
Does it?
I come where I want, on who I want, when I want. In a shape.
Those feet look pretty. You know what I mean?
Those feet.
I guess
Yeah,
every
you should be able to flick it wherever you want.
every junior high kid in Mississippi is going to be breaking the law now.
Little bastards.
No shit.
Well,
I think
that
we
was the
should.
point. What an impractical bill to be filed. What are we tying up the Mississippi State Senate for with this stuff? I mean, who's going to vote on the jack-off bill, right?
You know, there's going to be that one guy that's going to say, "So you don't masturbate?" You know, it's going to come right up in that damn house meeting. Now,
I would
tell me,
imagine.
have you ever masturbated? That's what I want to know.
Exactly. Have you ever masturbated before?
Then how do you enforce this in the magical land where it did become law?
Right.
They'll do shower checks
Well, I mean,
on everybody.
You just walk. You got a bunch of guys in black suits with black light headlamps on. They just walk around anytime they spot the old shine on somebody. They
Is that
You
like
know,
like you
Blow the
said?
whistle and you'll get
you're
them.
going to jail, pal. See something, say something.
I
This
would
pertains
be,
to
I would be all
masturbation.
for going undercover on this and seeing, like who's gonna blow
You want
me?
to be a semen inspector?
Who's gonna blow me here? You know what I mean? Like you're going to jail, bitch.
There's no embryos in this mouth, pal. You're going to jail.
Can you imagine telling your wife that's what you do for a living all day?
What do? I get Hummers from everybody and see if they can get me to the point of ejaculation, and then I take them to jail. That's my job.
No, Andy. It's the guy that's
Yeah, but that's
ejaculating.
No,
that's
that's-
going to jail. You're the guy giving the Hummer.
No, that's entrapment. You can't do that. That's breaking some constitutions. I would be all for getting these
No, if you're-
people that would get
If
you
you're
to that
expelling
point.
in another man's mouth, you're breaking the law. Why does it have to be
I
a guy?
figured you was working with women here, Andy. So you're working with men now?
This is Rebels fantasy.
Okay.
I don't know.
So yours was different.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of pictured you with women here. I didn't.
I'm catching those evil women that are trying to get me to break the law, and then I take them to jail.
Andy.
For you breaking the law.
Yeah, exactly. That's how this game works. You almost got me there, lady.
Chauvinistic.
Well,
Andy, a mouth is a mouth shaver.
that's right. That's right.
Mouth is a mouth shaver.
Put that on a shirt.
There is no discrimination here.
A mouth is a mouth.
A mouth is a mouth. Period.
Where you guys at on Elon's big salute?
I didn't care. I think they're making something out of nothing.
I think
Yeah, but what do you think it was?
He's pouring his heart out.
I don't know. I don't.
I'm just asking, is that your thoughts?
I don't like. He's a smart guy. I think that he would, if he was trying to symbol that he was a Nazi, I think he would have done it not so obviously. Maybe. I think maybe
So
I'm
kind of playing it off on the tism a little bit, maybe, or something.
a little bit.
He's on the spectrum. I don't think there's
Right.
I'm so tired of hearing about this Nazi bullshit. I don't even like sauerkraut.
Well, nobody's suggesting that you're a Nazi, Jeff.
No, but I just
So you're marked safe from being a Nazi.
If you're white and you like Donald Trump, everybody thinks you're a Nazi supporter. Well, it's not everybody.
I am certainly not. We are anti-Nazi around here.
Yeah.
Personally, I love sauerkraut. I'm not that big on the Jews.
And I love sauerkraut.
Yeah, but
I
y'all
like
are,
the Jews fine.
y'all are all for the deportation, though. So I mean, you're a little Nazis.
What was Nazi about deporting?
What are you talking about?
They didn't deport nobody. They killed them.
Well, under the
Put 'em on trains.
They put them
Yeah,
on trains, and you've got your spot.
They
and
moved
you're
them,
gonna-
but they weren't necessarily deporting or importing. They were just moving them to a place of mass casualty.
Yeah,
Right.
It's funny though. The Nazi rhetoric is losing traction real fast because there's so many black people coming to our side, and I don't think I see any black Nazis. So I think the Nazi thing is over.
What do you mean, our side?
Our side is being the people that support Trump. Do you not support Donald Trump? That's who's saying is a Nazi.
Oh,
Red team, Andy. Where you at?
Yeah,
I got you. Just making sure our lines are where they need to be.
you're not a Trump supporter.
I never said that.
I'm asking you.
You are.
Are you?
I voted for the guy.
Okay, then yes, you are. So that makes you a fucking Nazi. Hi, Hitler. I mean, that's the kind of shit
You heard
they
it here
say.
first, folks.
We're going to have to cut that out. Let's go ahead and Chandler, 254.25 on our end.
But that's the kind of shit though that they talk about all the time, and it's not true.
I guess.
So we're just saying that you guys the official stance is it was just an awkward way to show I love you.
I don't know what it was. I just don't think it was
My
a
heart.
Nazi salute.
My heart to you.
I think
Thank
it was
you.
I think, like you said, though, you hit it on the head. It was the tism showing a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I really don't think he's a Nazi. I think it but it is funny when it happened that people who are looking to grasp any straw,
Yeah.
like, oh, here's one I can grab right here.
There it is. He made the Hitler sign. This is true.
I'll tell you where I'm at on this deal. I
And
cannot.
some great reels have come from it. So. Absolute.
I'm not a fan of Stephen A. Smith's, but his take on why the Democrats lost has been really good, and why he's embarrassed he voted for Kamala is true. I mean,
Did you watch him on Bill Maher?
I did watch part of it, and I
He
didn't.
did
watch
a
it
really
all.
good job.
Elaborate, Jeffrey. I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen it.
He come out and said the reason the Democrats had lost is because of all the shit they lie about everything. He said, and everything you find out they've done over the last 4 years has been a lie. He goes, Trump is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He's the only politician we've ever had that's followed through on what he said he was going to do. The deportations. He said he was going to do that, so it shouldn't be a shock to anybody. And he goes, he's honest about what he does. And he goes, I'm embarrassed I voted for Kamala and listened to their lies for the last 4 years about everything about Trump that was wrong. I don't think Trump's a perfect person by any means at all, but I think he's a good president. You know, just like if I'm going to get my heart operated on, I don't give a shit what the guy's personal life is if he's a good heart surgeon. I think Trump's a smart business guy, and I think we're using common sense on a lot of things. He just shut off all federal funding. I just saw it just now. Boy, the Democrats are mad right now. All federal funding's been halted for a couple of weeks until they can figure out what's right and what's wrong. That's schools, that's all kinds of shit he's going to do until they find out where we're throwing money away at. You know, there's a lot of good things we can give a lot more money to a lot of things that deserve money and take away money from shit we shouldn't be paying all the damn time. And we shouldn't be.
Did you hear the latest that he was maybe wanting to cancel the federal income tax?
Yes, it's come out today, and he says we've got it. Tariffs will replace that money. I'm for
what
that.
What was it? I think 1913 is what he said. The government was funded prior 1913 solely on tariffs. And then 1913.
It's a little bigger operation now.
But a lot more people buying shit.
Does it have to be, though? I mean,
what's our GDP now? $9 trillion.
Yeah, but if you still, okay.
They still spend more than that by how many trillion? I mean,
but
we're
that's
talking.
What I'm saying. If we got government spending under control, does it have to be that much?
They say they're going to cut $3 trillion out of our government spending this year. It is $9 trillion right now, and he said we can cut that down to $6 trillion. But
they're overspending it by whatever.
Right.
But cut it to $6 trillion. Unbelievable.
That seems like a lot of tariffs is all I'm saying, because most of the rest of the world doesn't have that kind of money. And to me, devil's advocate a bit, but I mean, tariffs are just an end user tax. I mean, it's a consumption tax for end users.
It's going to go to us.
But
the only people that pay tariffs are us.
Right.
Yes.
But
whoever has the tariffs.
But the $6 trillion or the tax, it's not just tariffs where we're going to get money out. We've got so many we overtax the shit out of stuff. Gasoline and oil is one of them. All that stuff we get taxed anyways. He said there is plenty of money. It's sickening how much money comes in, but we waste so much dang money. But the tariffs is going to offset what the income tax is, just the income tax.
It's not
all
going to
other
be sales
taxes.
tax and everything else. But
just,
our sales tax is going to go up if these tariffs.
I don't know that our sales tax will go up.
Well, the cost of the good will go up.
Yes, and so your sales tax will increase on what you're
tremendously.
Paying. But
price of corn.
But
I said tremendously, because if you're getting rid of income tax as the majority of the government's revenue comes just from the taxes,
but not income. But not income taxes.
Not income tax?
No, that's a small portion. That's what everybody thinks. Only 50% of the people pay an income tax. How much fucking money do we pay to that lady that's got 7 kids and she gets them earned income tax credits that don't work, and she's like, "Oh, I got my $8,000 tax refund." No, it wasn't a fucking tax refund. It was a gift.
$2 trillion.
I think it's more than that. I think some of them are like 10, 15,000.
$2 trillion comes in off of income taxes, individual income taxes. $430 billion comes from corporate income taxes.
How much on personal income taxes?
48%, $2.6 trillion.
2.6 trillion comes in on that. And he thinks that.
So if you put that with the 480 billion, so just say you're at $3 trillion, that's still a lot of tariff.
Well, if you cut the government spending by $3 trillion, like he said he wants to do, you've already made up your difference right there in what you make off of income taxes, individual and corporate.
Some, right?
And then
you go from 9 to 6, and then you still have the disparity from 6 to 3, so you're still 3 short, aren't you?
No, it's a wash, because we spend 9, and he wants to cut it to 3, to cut it to 6. If you add up individual and corporate income taxes, that's the $3 trillion right there. It's a wash.
Oh, the 3 cut off, you're saying?
Yes.
Actually, sounds like it's 2.5. So
we got a little bit of money to blow.
I wish we would go to a VAT tax. Yeah, VAT tax. I saw one deal, and it was ridiculous. But if we added a 5% federal sales tax on everything we buy, I wouldn't have a problem at all with that. And do away with income tax.
Well, VAT tax would probably be the most fair, because then you're only you're getting taxed on what you actually use.
Yeah, because if you
buy every step, and everyone is through every step of the process, correct?
Right. You buy a $50 million jet, you're going to pay 5% extra. No write-offs on nothing. Everything's got a 5% tax on it.
Right.
I'm okay with that, because I'm sick of property tax. I keep paying for shit that I've already bought, and property tax.
But the guys that built the motors get a little bit of get taxed a little bit. The guys that build the fuselage get taxed a little bit. The guys and it gets passed all the way down. It gets spread amongst the whole assembly process.
Yes.
Isn't that correct?
Yes. And like the people that don't.
So everyone pays a portion of the tax.
Yeah.
Pays a portion of the tax versus it all falling on the end guy.
And the lower income people that don't pay any income tax, now all of a sudden they're going to start, your sales taxes on that loaf of bread that you buy has that 5% tax at the end of it. So everybody.
That's who it would hurt, is the lower incomes the most. Yeah.
Yeah, but they got to pay their fair share on some shit. I mean, you should not work.
Fucking poors.
And fucking sitting over in the poor people Santa Claus line, bitch.
Yeah.
But
Logan's getting firm over here.
Yeah. You should
not like that.
You should not work and live in government housing, get food stamps and get everything, and not have to pay anything at all, and then get a check in February for a refund you never paid in on. So I'm all fair for 5% on every single person. And let's bring some jobs back to America. You know, and that's what this tariffs is going to do. Some of these companies are going to be like, shit, we're spending more money on tariffs. We can just build it in America, and we'll be at a wash or a little bit cheaper. And I think the tariffs are a good thing. I really do. You know, I saw the people bitching, wait till your coffee goes up, you know, so much. What's it, 10% was it going to add, or 25%? Yeah, your coffee's going to go up 25%. So if you're paying $2 for a coffee, you're going to pay $2.50 now. Well, if you like your Starbucks, pay 50 cents extra or whatever it is. To me, it's not that big a deal.
Jeff figured it all out.
Well, I'll be the first to admit that I'm not smart enough to know how the tariffs are going to shake out, but I am all for the experiment, at least giving it a shot.
Yep.
Yeah. Try it.
Now, if I'm having to pay $4.75 for one piece of bubble gum, I might be like, well, hold on, we need to check on this tariff shit again. But if it goes up a little bit and it brings jobs back to our country, that's all he's trying to do. He's trying to make us pay our fair share, because the one side vilifies this damn tariffs like, oh my God. Well, you know what? The United States, we've got a trade deficit with every country just about, you know, like in Mexico.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous with some of them.
What was it?
What's China? We have a $400 billion deficit with them.
I think $150 billion with Canada. You know?
That's just not right. They're our neighbors to the north.
Yeah. And I do not
to the north.
And I do not want them to be our next, them to be the 51st state. I can tell you right now, it's what we need is another fucking California.
Yeah, where are you on adopting Canada and buying Greenland? What are we doing here? You guys in on that?
We want Greenland, keep Canada.
I'm all for Greenland. I think it's a good deal. I think you ought to offer.
What if it's not for sale?
Well, there's nothing's for sale. I'll bet
it sounds like the people there don't want to be bought.
Hold on.
What is there, 60-some thousand residents in Greenland?
50,000 people there. Rebel.
50,000.
Do you got some family land that you farmed that your family's had in your land for 50 years or so?
Yeah.
Okay. If someone come to you from California right now and said, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you $100,000 an acre for that place. Are you selling it or not?
That's not my call.
What would you say if it was your call?
Say it was.
Would you sell it?
Yes. You're not going to like my answer. Probably not.
You would for $100,000 an acre?
Not if you're talking about stuff that we have a century farm on.
Logan.
No, we're not built like that.
If someone come in and offered you $100 million for your business today, what would you do?
Tally ho, bud. I'm out of here.
Bingo.
Sounds good.
That's right. Everything's for sale. So if he goes to Greenland and he offers every resident in that country, 50,000 people, $250,000 a piece, they'll be start singing Yankee Doodle Dandy.
God, what's the fucking math on that? Is that the number he's throwing out?
No. I just threw that up. I think it's 12.5 billion, I think is what it is. But anyways, that kind of money though.
I mean, if they all sign up for it, sure, not everyone's you're going to have people that aren't going to sign up for it.
Of course.
It just seemed like a ridiculous thing to say. I realize it's a strategic place in the world, especially if there's ever wars.
I don't think that's what it's about though.
But I don't think you can just go buy another country that doesn't want to be sold.
Well, no, you make a deal.
Like mine.
You barter.
Mine.
The Louisiana Purchase, you know, they sold it. And there was a lot of people pissed off about that. But Manhattan, Alaska.
Yeah, they were fringe.
But I think
wasn't Louisiana Purchase for like $6 million or $7 million, something like crazy,
2 cents an acre or something. I think we should buy Greenland if we can. But I think it's got more to do with just the war stuff. I think there's probably some kind of hidden mineral under there that we know about that a lot of people don't know about,
like Antarctica,
whatever it be. But I wonder if there's not a bunch
aliens,
of lithium or something there.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
I mean, I'm sure there's strategic reasons, and strategically, it's a very good place to have. I was just mostly speaking to the fact that if they don't want to be sold, we got to be careful on just saying mine and buying it.
Well, I don't think we're going to go in strong arm, but I think we're going to make them a pretty good offer. Now, what about Panama?
Make you an offer we can't refuse.
I just was listening to them on the radio, Ted Cruz and them on that Panama deal and all the money we spent to build that shit and stuff. And I don't know what's going to happen down there.
I did see where all these map companies that you have on your phone are going to change the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
See, to me, that's not even important.
I still can't hear that and not laugh. Damn it!
It's happening.
I don't understand.
I know it.
Pick your battles. I mean, I just
so
don't.
awesome.
Mount McKinley is not gonna be Denali anymore. It's gonna be Mount McKinley.
I grew up, it was Mount McKinley.
Changing it back.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just
I
fucking.
finally got over Denali. Now it's Mount McKinley. Fuck. Learned how to use the fucking self checkouts at Dollar General. People stole. They took them out. Every time I get going with the advanced stuff, they fucking snack it.
Has it always? Wonder when it got named the Gulf of Mexico. How many years of it just being the Gulf of Mexico? Are we just gonna be like, nope, 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 nope. Gulf of America. It's ours. Sorry.
Yeah, mine. I own it.
That's a battle I don't agree with.
That's a stupid name.
I just
I've heard a lot of names. I've talked to a lot of people that name things, people that you never even understand how they name things, but he names things very well, very well. Probably the best you've ever seen. He says it probably should be called the Gulf of America, and I happen to agree. It's a great name, a powerful name, a name we should adopt. We are going to call it the Gulf of America. Thank you.
That's pretty good.
1550s was when it was named the Gulf of Mexico.
Welcome to 2025, baby.
It's Gulf of America now, boys.
Before we let you go, you guys want to do a pop quiz with us?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pop quiz. Hey, guys, I wrote this one just for you. Want to see where you're at. Would you rather, a pop quiz, of course, just a would you rather, have to allow 5 random migrants into your home for a year to live and flourish?
No.
Or allow your biggest critic to dictate your life for 1 year. They decide where you go, what you spend money on, what you say, what you do.
So has something happened to Michelle? Is this like a new dictator in my life, or is it's completely separate? Because I didn't understand.
No, your biggest critic.
Oh, well, that's
your
my
biggest
life.
naysayer.
That would, I think he's
No, the person that dislikes you the most.
That would be Michelle.
Still Michelle.
I'm going to keep up with just.
Is there anything I can say to get you off Michelle?
Nope.
I was thinking more like just a person that hates you. I feel like your wife loves you.
Michelle. Checks all the boxes.
Well, anyway, those are your options, boys. Would you rather?
Give me the dictator. I mean,
all right, you're going to have your biggest
biggest
critic dictate your life for a year.
Can I put these people on my can I claim them as dependents on my taxes?
It's just one person, yeah.
I thought it was
they're probably going to be an adult.
I thought it was 5.
Oh, the migrants.
Yeah, Can I claim the migrants as dependents on my taxes?
No. They're their own people, and they're not necessarily all together. It's not like you just get a family. It could be
Tony wants to know
5 murderers. Could be 5 wonderful children. You don't know. It's a random draw.
I'll take the dictators. The biggest critic.
Tony asked,
okay,
are the 5 migrants like strippers from Tijuana that are 18, 19, or 20? Because he'd be interested.
Random draw,
Random
Tony.
draw. You never know.
Yeah. I'm not going to do the migrant deal unless I'm going to get the check the government's paying everybody. I mean, if they're paying me $9,000 a month, put these guys in a tent in the backyard.
Nope.
I'm going to go with the dictator also.
I'm going to go with my biggest naysayer.
Yeah.
Shake things up a little bit.
Yeah. What about you, Reb?
I don't think the 3 of you know how bad your lives are going to be fucked up by your biggest naysayers dictating your every move.
How bad is my fucking life going to be fucked up when I got 5?
Yeah, I'd rather have one more.
They could be wonderful migrants.
Could be, but I'm not going to roll the dice.
Yeah. Well, even if just one of them's fucked up, you got 4. You still got one bad guy.
Can we?
I'll just take the other wife.
Can we do on Full Metal Jacket and tie him down and beat him with fucking soap bars and socks? That one that's a shithead. Because maybe I'd be for it.
Not strictly on the fact that they're a migrant. Private pile. They would have to do something wrong.
Just the fact that it's just a bad.
You know what we do to migrants around here?
I'm going with this. I'm going with the second wife.
Where are you, Reb? Or do you play because
I can't risk. I can't let strangers into my home. I'm gonna have to do it too. It was just a fun one I thought of though.
And I got my whole. I got my bathroom routine and everything. I don't need 5 more people interrupting that.
You don't need migrants watching you shit.
No.
All right, guys. For my pop quiz, are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I'm nervous.
Okay,
now.
so you guys can either 10-minute open mouth makeout session with a homeless man, or you can eat a bowl of dog shit.
Fresh. Not dry dog shit, right?
No, it's fresh dog shit.
I mean, it's pretty much the same, right?
I'm just thinking, where the fuck's he come up with
One's not gay.
One will get you hard. Figure out which one.
I'm going, give me the dog shit.
God almighty.
Gonna eat a bowl of dog shit?
I'll eat a
What
bowl
about you,
of dog-
Jeffrey?
10 minutes is a long time.
And if you don't keep it down, you still have to make out with the homeless man.
Oh, then I'm just going to go ahead and do it with the homeless man then, because I'm going to throw up this shit anyway. So,
Logan?
I'm gonna try to eat the dog shit,
Then throw it up and make out with a dude.
and then throw it up and make out with a homeless man. Yeah.
At least with the dog shit, I know what I'm getting out of the deal. You know?
I can't open. I have a tough time kissing males, and I certainly couldn't open mouth one. So yeah, I'll eat. I have to eat the dog shit. I can't do it. So
I think that's pretty much a consensus right there. Dog,
Well, hey, this is great. This is a great way to end this thing.
dog shit and
homeless people.
yeah, nobody took the homeless people, or nobody took the migrants, and nobody went with homeless guys. So the
our
No,
shows,
I did.
huh?
eyes have it.
No, I went homeless.
Yo, you're making out with a homeless
Well, I'm
guy?
going to throw up and have to make out with him anyway, so might as well just go right to the point.
We're at least going to risk it. We're going to take
Yeah.
a chance we can keep it down.
Yeah, there's no way that ain't happening.
And I added that in. That may not have been. Logan may.
No, it
Maybe
wasn't
if
in
you just
there.
eat it, that's enough.
You added that part in. I added it in.
That was like a Trump executive order. Logan had this whole thing worked out, and then Reb's like, nope, fuck that.
Nope. Yeah, he put the stamp on it pretty quick.
Ban hammer.
Fast.
Well, we appreciate y'all letting us be part of y'all's world and
Yeah, thank you for
having you
this.
part of our world.
Likewise.
Thank you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to do this about every 3 months.
Have you and Reb
That would be
just
perfect.
right next to
A
each other.
quarterly meeting, we call it.
There you go. A quarterly meeting.
Logan,
Perfect. We got the first quarter out of the way.
Logan, I am
Yep.
happy to know that you are my only liberal friend I hang out with now. And I love that you don't
Excuse me?
like. Well, you don't like being called Geraldo. You got your panties in the wad over that.
Geraldo fucking sucks. Nobody would want to be called that.
He's got a fair point.
Who hit Geraldo?
right.
When did that
We're
happen?
going to let you guys go,
Somebody
and we
whipped
got to
his
sign
ass.
off with our guys.
Yeah.
We got to do another segment.
All
Yep.
right.
Love you guys
See
very
peace.
much.
Love
Thank you
bye.
so much.
Y'all be
Thank
safe.
you. Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Bye.
Watch for deer. They're gone.
What the hell?
The now this is a quarterly thing. So the first quarter out of the way with the Looking Glass guys.
Yep. Had a good time. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. I've got a veterans goose hunt that I'm fixing to start working on. It's for 3 days. Let me look at the dates on the calendar. We do two, and the first, or we're doing a second one because the first one is sold out already for next year. So if I can find my calendar here, it is going to be on November 12, 13, 14, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's a 3-day goose hunt, lodging, meals, 3 morning hunts. Normally it's a $1,500 hunt. It's a veterans hunt for $1,000 for those 3 days. I'm limited on spots. So you want them, you better book it pretty fast. I can do from one person to 6 people. But anyways, it's going to be just a group deal. We'll run 3 groups of 10, probably be 30 people here. So anyways, I just started this today. So anyways, I got 20 something spots left. So anyways, 3 days, goose hunt, lodge and meals, $1,000 a person. It's a hell of a deal. It's 33% off. It's a veteran. You have to be a veteran to come on the hunt, or you have to have a veteran with you. You can be a father, son, brothers, best friends, but one of the guys has to be a veteran on this hunt.
Right.
So anyways, thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all and have a great, wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.
Watch for deer. Check out all of our sponsors. Go check out, if you're not already subscribed, go check out the Looking Glass podcast. Head over to their Patreon account, do the whole thing. Lucky Duck Shin Gear, Dirty Duck Coffee, Dive Bomb Industries, Ducks Unlimited, Pacific Calls. We got a promo code there, BHP25, save 25% off. Boss Shot Shells, Mossberg, MLR Graphics, Stanfield Outfitters, Hemp Hill Farm, promo code BHP, Mallard Bay, and Mitch Hall Chevrolet.